streams for the moment,
Yeah,
right?
right now all I'm doing is the defense up and the stream recycles, which
Yeah.
that's 100% of stuff that's recorded on stream.
Hmm.
And that's all I have time for is to stream.
Yeah.
And so that's all I can put on YouTube. So I am trying to get a lot of those defense up videos. I'm trying to get those so that they're basically popping out 6 days a week. And then there's plenty of content that's being put out, although it's not what I consider quality. A lot of people do enjoy the defense up videos, so I continue doing those since they're easy to make. But I just simply don't have the time to do anything else. Like, I don't mind doing collabs with other people because I don't have to sit and do the editing and the self-promotion and spreading those things around and all that stuff, which, you know, for those who don't understand, when you put out when you produce a piece of content as opposed to just going straight from stream to live on YouTube or whatever, when you produce a piece of content, it comes out to almost 1 hour for every 1 minute of video that you want to put out there because of the editing process and all the time you spend in studio trying to promote that piece of material, get it out there on different Discord servers, all that stuff. Like it's a lot of work. And so, you know, when you're putting out a 20-minute video, that's like a day. That's like a day that you've kind of, you know, used up trying to get that out there. And I don't have that kind of time right now. So hopefully when I get my family settled, I got lots of ideas to do, lots of fun stuff that I want to get into, a whole bunch of things that no one else in Marvel Strike Force is doing. And so I'm gonna either have a lot of fun doing this and making new content that people like, or I'm gonna find out why no one else is doing it.
Absolutely.
See
I
how
think
it goes.
that it's really important when you're doing stuff that you need to do something that is unique to yourself and something that you really enjoy, because if you just copy paste and do stuff that others doing, you're gonna get pretty fucking bored at it. Kind of
Like,
early.
I hate doing Red Star opening videos.
Yeah.
One, I don't like to promote that mechanic in the
No.
game. I think it's one of the sleaziest mechanics, but
It's
whatever.
lazy.
A lot of people do those videos because those videos get clicks, and I
Yeah.
just don't. I don't enjoy it. I don't enjoy promoting that, and I think that personally, I think those videos are kind of boring. They're all the same thing, and whenever I watch somebody else's, I always just fast forward to the last 1 minute just to see what they have, and then that's it. If I even watch the video, but everybody else does it, so I don't want to do it too.
But I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I don't enjoy watching the Red Star clips, since, you know, I'm a junkie when it comes to Marvel content creators. You know, I watch everything. Like, but I usually
Hey, when
keep up
when
with.
you get 180 shards of Morbius drop on you, that gets a good reaction. That's a video that I want to see.
Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't have my setups. I've been toying around with the OBS and so on, and as you can see, or that you maybe saw, is that the voice get clipped when I screamed. Like, you know, it's just like cutting off and shit. So I had that problem.
Okay, yeah, you were
bad.
peaking. Okay.
Yeah, no kidding, dude.
Okay.
I was so I don't know.
I've got a
mental.
video I can send you on how to set up the limiter in OBS
Yes.
so that you'll never peak.
Yeah, that would be nice. That would be nice. Hey, Rolf, welcome to the stream, man. How you been doing? Have you streamed lately? I haven't seen you, though. I've had a lot of busy days, so. And also, thank you for the follow who did follow in the beginning. I really appreciate it, and I hope you spend the next few hours with me, and some time here also with Senray, Run 7. So we're gonna have a good talk later.
I'm gonna bring up Twitch so that I can read the chat.
Yeah. I can send you the pop-up otherwise, if you like.
No, that's fine. You can send me the pop-up of the stream chat?
Yeah. Okay.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's okay. I've got it over here on the
cool.
other side.
Do you know how you do the pop-ups, by the way? Maybe that's a silly question, but
I know how to do the dock on OBS and separate the chat from OBS, but I don't know how to send that chat to somebody else through OBS.
I think it's like that. If you try to click on that and see what's happening.
See here.
I think it should be.
Out. Look at that.
Yeah. The funny thing
wow,
is...
it is just... Wow, that's just your stream chat. That's cool.
Yeah. You want to know the funny thing? I never remember how to do it.
Oh no, yeah. Like if you ever get it right, you forget how to do it the next time.
That's why I save it on my board, so I always have it.
Did I ever tell you the first time I ever collaborated with Mr. Hargrave? Now this was when he came on to my stream for the first time. We record. Well, no, it wasn't my stream. It was a recording. We were recording the Weekly War review.
Okay.
Me and Hargrave.
Yeah.
And we got about 30 to 45 minutes into the recording, and all of a sudden the feed started cutting out, and it was pretty choppy. And we tried to push through it, and it just got really ugly. And I was like, oh, okay, hey, let's figure this out, and we'll reboot our systems, and we'll pick up, and I'll just edit this on to the end, and we'll do the last couple of things. And then so we did that. We rebooted and everything. And while I was rebooting my system and he was rebooting his, I realized I had his microphone muted going to OBS the entire time. And so we had to re-record the entire video again. And he's such a professional. Yeah. He was way cool about it. Like he just understands that happens, every once in a while. Yeah. And it turned out to make a better video because we had like our trial run and then we went through it again. Yeah. And we made an hour-long video down to 35 minutes, which is great. But yeah, he was a real pro. But that was like the most embarrassing thing. That's like when the photographer leaves the lens cap on the camera. Like it's the dumbest thing you can possibly do. And so mistakes just happen when you're trying to do all these technical streams.
But it's fun rough. Though. But both of you will have a good laugh, and then you will learn something. And I think the lesson is learned that it should be fun all the time. If you're doing something,
I'll never make that mistake again. And even now, like when I'm recording with somebody else or doing a live stream or something, I'll triple check OBS. Like you'll see me when I'm doing collaborations with everybody. Yeah. When I have that very concerned little flash look where I look down and left, like that's me checking to make sure that the microphones are still on. Now I have like shell shock from it.
Dude, I haven't. I can't even make counts how many times I've checked my OBS, my Twitch, and also Discord during this 15 minutes run. So I know the feeling, though. I know the feeling.
Yeah.
What do you think is the? We can start by that, though, or just when we are talking. Like, what are you doing in the game at the moment? What are you focusing on?
Oh, I'm doing some RTA battles to get my week's worth. I noticed we only have like 5 or 6 days left in the RTA pass, and I'm only on like 85 or something. I've really been slacking, so I'm trying to finish that up. Or I'm on 89 right now, and so I'm just doing some battles to get the weeklies done. I think I got to do all my weeklies.
Oh shit!
And maybe I can finish this thing out in time. I'm not sure.
But that is a lot of points that you can earn from the weeklies, also. So.
Yeah, I'm not buying that pass. I'm just doing the free track. I can't. In neither pass, I can't find the value in either pass for me. Like LDS shards are great, but I'll be able to farm her eventually.
Yeah, I'm not stressing about that at all. I just got her to, I think it was 5 yellow, 5 reds.
Yeah.
And I'm not even close to the 6-star. It's funny also in the chat, Danny, his name is Artrades. He's playing with me in CMB. He's a sound engineer for professionals, and he said that your problem sounds very scary familiar when you have technical issues. I mean, how much do they double, triple, and 10 times check their stuff before they even try to play anything? First chat message from the viewer. Yeah. 1977 pro streamer run 7. Yeah, he's a pro streamer.
Jaws in my alliance.
Yeah,
Jaws in my alliance twice over. He's got an alt account he runs in the alliance.
How come I'm not surprised?
Yeah,
I've seen it in your streams.
Weird stuff going on in our alliance. Like I just was notified that one of our core players for like the longest time has been MIA for 5 days, and I didn't even realize that because I'm not in leadership anymore. I don't pay attention to that stuff.
Yeah.
And I was just like, what? What's going on? So now we're all scurrying to figure out if he's because this isn't the type of guy who just drops out. Like when he's gonna be gone for half a day, he'll notify us in Discord or something. So we're like, what's happening?
Have you reached out to him? Is he okay? Because shit can happen.
Yeah, we're in the process of trying to connect with him. By the way, Crofty said he has no word from him. So.
Okay. Just a sad thing he's in our Doom lanes and you didn't notice. But you are actually doing the mutant.
Is that why I'm having so much trouble on my side? I'm just like, man, I feel like I'm carrying the team this last week. I literally am. Thanks, Danny. I appreciate that comment there. Yeah, it's oof. Yeah, raids have actually been really tough. Oh man, I got reamed on the mutant boss node the other day.
Yeah.
Man, it was like 300 cores I had to spend to get back on track.
Oh shit.
And because one of our guys is missing, I'm one of two people that can really handle that. And since he's gone, it's all on me. And I'm just like, oh, this sucks.
First message from way too raw from you. Welcome, Mrs. How are you?
How's it going?
I know you. I've seen you on stream, way too raw. I also heard a rumor that you took over Mr. Run 7 stream.
Yeah, she ran the show for the entire day.
She did. I watched it all. I think it was good. Yeah. Way unprepared, with short notice, because I saw all the, let's call it only for stream purposes, the drama that happened that night or that day.
Yeah, yeah,
that was
really
good. That was nice coverage. It was really good, and I think it's really really fun when I see you two guys together when you're sitting like in collab, sort of, because she's playing on a different level, and I think it's really interesting to hear about how her experience is in the game, and that brought me to a thought that I had last night. It was it came in a guy. He was from Turkey. So he didn't have the best English in the world, and he was really like, so, oh, I'm sorry for not speaking so good, and so I'm just, that's fine, dude. I mean, we're all equal in here in Marvel Strike Force world. That's no biggies, because we can understand you. And he said like, oh, do you have any tips for me, and so on. So I said like, what do you want to know? I'm level 54, and I was just like, shit. I have no idea, dude. So we run some RTA, and I went in with the team that he want me to play, of course, because he want to have a showcase, and of course I will show it to him. So I went in with, and he said, I want you to take the best characters that I have from my roster. So I was just like, yeah, fine. It was Shield Medic, Hulk, Wolverine, and two others. I think it was Silver Samurai, and it was somebody else. I was sitting for 15 minutes with the stream chat, and we had like 15 people in, and everybody was just like, I said like, I'm gonna sit here all day until I win. I didn't got one single good match for 15 minutes, and I was just, I'm sorry guys, we need to go to the vlog because it's released now. And it was really rough, and I can feel the pain, because when he has this mishmash of characters, how the hell would he even go through campaigns? But on the other side, with the new character that is so overpowered, he only need like 2 stars.
You really have to be watching the content creators to get to get anywhere. Ooh, finally, T'Challa showed up in the Elite store. There, I can take him from 3 red stars to 4 red stars.
Do you have him at 4? Gosh. Yellow.
Yeah, I do. I have 4 yellow, 4 red now. Oh man, he can't stick paint to primer, I swear. So hopefully this will help him out a little bit, getting that star up there. Yeah, you really got to be paying attention to the content creators or YouTube videos or whatever, so you have at least a fundamental basic idea of how these team comps work, so that you can get, if you're trying to go into like Doom 1 and you don't have, and you're just using like a training wheels team, like you're like, oh yeah, I'll use Iron Man because Iron Man's gonna be great in tech. Like you just don't know, and so you got to watch somebody to get your feet set before you can really get anywhere in this game. And I don't think Scopely does a great job of the new player experience and really getting people, like, the tutorial lets you know what buttons to click and win, but you have no idea of how to do team building or something.
No.
And they really need to add that into the tutorial so that you can get a good idea, or even make a new tutorial that kind of directs you towards a better team than Spider-Man, Luke Cage, a medic, like that's the training wheels team is the worst. Like they're terrible. I mean, I guess Spider-Man's okay now.
Yeah,
Spider-Man's okay now.
But the problem is that also, if you think about it, with all the games that we have been playing, and I don't know about you, but I've been a geek for like 30 years. And during that time, we have played a lot of games. And honestly, I like playing mobile games. I think it's really fun. It's hard to find a good game though. But if we look at the games that we have been playing, it doesn't matter if it's on PC or Xbox or whatever. There is not much tutorials, to be honest. They only learn you the basics. The rest is for you to figure out. And if we look at the big game as Marvel Strike Forces, when we have, what is it now? They say like 200 characters or something. And how the fuck should you know all the passives? Like, that is impossible. You don't have any clue on what to do if you're not watching, as you are saying, content creators or going to YouTube. And that is actually something that the most of the players isn't doing. I mean, it's a small
layer on
percentage
top
of
of that things like the basic counter assist, which is different, and you don't know that unless you go to msf.gg. Now Scopely just bought that, and so hopefully they can integrate, at least, you know, have an arrow that says, hey, if you want this information, go here. So maybe, but I mean, how many people are making Juggernaut a striker thinking that he's going to gain charges, but he doesn't, and no one knows that unless you've been playing for 1,000 days. No, you know. So it's there's I mean, but the thing is, when you get into making corrections like this for the game, you start going, okay, well, you know, I want this quality of life, I want screen time reduced, I want, you know, directions for new players and new player catch-up mechanics, and I want more gold, and the list goes on and on and on. And then you realize, okay, there's a bajillion things that need tending to in this game. You kind of got to prioritize it. And then it's like, what are these things that we complain about every day, you know, where do they fall on that list? And for me, most of them are not in the top 10 because, I mean, we're all at a different place in the game, and like end game players have this problem and new players have this problem and stuff. And so where does Scopely attack it first? Well, I mean, obviously they need game stability, and then I think probably cheating. And then after that, we get to screen time. And then you get to the other quality of life features, and then you get to the other little things, or the minor bugs where the kit doesn't read right or something. At this point, like, anybody who's played this game for more than 600 days is kind of used to, hey, sometimes the kits say one thing and the character does another thing. And don't ask Scopely which one it is, because they've got something else entirely going on. So
have you ever played a game where the character isn't doing what it's saying? Like, this is
right. No, I can't offhand. I can't think of another game. Yeah, I can't think of another game where that happens, but we're all used to it. Like, it's just normal.
But that is horrible.
It's just like, no, that's not the correct.
It's horrible.
Yeah, that's not the correct thing. The focus or the percentages on Phoenix, yeah, that's not right. But we know that because we've been doing this long enough, you know? Like, Deathpool, is she working as intended? We don't know, because Scopely's not going to say anything about it.
That is true. Welcome to the chat, by the way, Prominence. I know you from Run 7's stream also. Thanks for tuning in. And he's also saying, I just want to build teams and have them be in game. Yeah, team building and sorting in game is trash. Yeah, it is, because it's all what are you saying in English? Cookie cutter? Is that the correct?
Yeah, that's the term everybody likes to use, as a cookie cutter.
Yeah,
cookie cutter team. You stamp them out.
Yeah, and it gives us less flexibility to play around with characters that we are really like. For example, we are diving straight into the schedule here. It's time for us to party, so we can dive straight into it with a new team. For example, when now with the Agatha coming out, where is Morda gonna go? Scarlet Witch got her place, but we are also losing Doctor Strange. You know, the normal Doctor Strange. Where are they gonna go? You don't have any spots for them. I mean, are they gonna go with Hela, for example? But Hela will go to the Dark Hunters, right? Or is Agatha...
Anybody can go with the Dark Hunters.
Yeah.
I'm actually gonna try and put Hela and Strange and Mordo back together on a Hela natural team, but I gotta find something else to make that team work, because I liked using it to hunt those wonky power level Doc Ock Sinister Six teams.
Yeah.
And so I really want to continue doing that, since I've already got an investment in 3 out of 5. You know, I want to continue doing that. So I need to find 2 more characters to go into that team. Hopefully I can find some piece of trash from the bottom of my roster that makes it all come together. But honestly, I may continue to leave Scarlet Witch on that team.
Yeah.
Because they did her dirty on that rework. They did not do. Could they have just taken a few lines out of Agatha's text and slid it over to her text?
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Just like a little something, because Agatha's bonkers. She's absolutely bonkers. Why not take Agatha and have Agatha focus on Cersei and have Scarlet Witch focus on Icarus or something like that, right? Because that's what Agatha's kit reads, is Goodbye Eternals.
Yeah.
So...
But she's just a one-trick pony also. I actually took a note about that, exactly what you said. I wrote like, let's see. Should be here.
Yeah, Prominence, I'm not building up Nobu. I'm not building up Nobu for that team, Prominence. I'm sorry.
But it was really, I was kind of surprised, to be honest, how little love Scarlet Witch got. Because she is one of the most powerful characters in the Marvel universe. And the only thing they do was just the reworks of her skills.
They gave her armor.
Enough. Yeah, from 0 to moderate. And what is moderate? What is moderate? What number is that?
Exactly. Scopely's king of using ambiguous terminology. But they did turn her basic into a turn 3 ultimate. Is what they kind of did with her basic, right? Because she's got to use her special, then her ultimate, and then her basic will go off with her needing energy, and she does the defense down, offense down, whatever, all that stuff on a basic, which is actually pretty good. You know, you just have to use it turn 3.
Should be baseline.
That was okay. But let's do something cool like that for the special and the ultimate also.
Exactly.
Let's bump them up a little bit too.
And when you wrote or when you read the blog, when you saw the line with if not at max energy, what was your first thought? Because when we were sitting and reading the blog together in the stream, we were saying like, what the fuck is energy? They have never ever used that.
I think Mobile
also thought about it. He said like, what the fuck is energy? Like nobody knows, and nobody knows about it.
Well, what they want to know is, let me find Scarlet Witch, because I don't even know what her power level is. I'm gonna look her up.
Dude, mine is super weak.
Supernatural. There we go. So we're gonna go in here. So let's see. Reality Warp is turn 1, and that's her special. And then so it's ultimate special, and then she'll do her basic, or however you want to do it, because they're both turn one maneuvers. So when I first read this, my first instinct was like how energy will go to a character with the lowest energy. Like you could have one character whose ultimate is topped off, but their special is completely empty.
Yeah.
And so they might get the energy because the game reads it as any of their abilities, what's the lowest. And so I thought you could use her basic on turn 2. But now what I'm starting to hear is that you're gonna have to use both her special and her ultimate before you can start using her basic in the way that it's gonna be reworked.
But the match is already over.
That kind of sucks.
The
Exactly. Turn 3. Although, you know what? It may not be. Because let's look at Heartless Strange. His ability doesn't come in till way late, and the whole goal is to keep him alive and standing. That's why they gave these characters so much barrier. That's why they gave Wong all these protective things in his kit and stuff. So she may very well get to turn 3. That might be what this team is all about. It's like a timeout team, or Strange makes it to his ult and nukes everybody. So who knows? Now, I wonder, on arena defense, how this team is going to work, because what if Strange doesn't have any negative effects or very few positive effects on himself, and he targets somebody who has nothing and uses his ult, and it kind of fizzles out?
Yeah,
what if the AI selects it wrong?
Yeah, absolutely.
I know I'm going to be picking it like a Shang-Chi ult or whatever. I'm going to be picking that person with all the little blips over their head.
Yeah, of course. The problem is that when we are having defenses in arena, it doesn't matter really. And as we have seen since the game began, nothing holds. So you know that AI is gonna fuck it up, because you can't have an arena defense that's gonna hold, because that's not fun for the game. It's not engaging, you know. So The problem
And
will also be that I don't think that Eternals is totally dead. To be honest, I think that we can figure something out with a pre-taunt we can do, but then you also have all the AoE stuff going on and so on. So, but I think that community will be smart enough to just counter this team in a blip. To be honest, in defense when you are attacking, at least, and nothing will stand.
Yeah.
So,
well,
that's kind of my part.
Or my take on it. This MLF team, this Darkhold team.
Yeah.
I'm looking at their kit and I'm not seeing a lot of call outs to Arena. So I think that they're still going to be probably decent in War. I think they're going to be decent in Crucible, depending on how Crucible plays out. And we don't know anything about that yet either. So I don't know, but the thing that I noticed in their kits is when you play a mirror match, the only thing is that there's callouts to Aga that gets like powered up if you take Mystic characters against her.
Yeah.
But it's a mirror match, so that's happening both ways. I didn't see it playing out well as a mirror team. So I'm wondering how it's going to work. Are we going to have these mirror matches that time out and it's all about coin flips and stuff, or are we going to come up with a great offensive team to go into the Darkhold team on defense? It's not going to be Eternals. I don't think it's going to be Eternals, but I think that there's going to be other stuff that will work. So hopefully that's the case.
It can be. We don't know for sure yet because you can mix in some bullshit with the speed mechanics from the beginning. I mean, characters like Nick Fury, just popping it out. He's one of the fastest characters in the game. He's special and speed everybody up. You have Black Widow. You can speed with a special in the beginning. Unfortunately, you can't get double speed, but you get my point. You can always trick the computer or the AI in some way, shape, or form. But I think that when it comes to the arena, for example, when we're speaking about Agatha, I think that the only way to beat it in a mirror match is raw power. You just need to bulldoze. If you have a 5-star Agatha and they have a 4-star, you will win. And I'm gonna say that I'm kind of scared about the arena now because it will probably be like, oh, we're going back to the Infinity Watch era, you know, when you had like 4 minutes fights, and that is not fun. That is not fun for anybody because you will sit for 15 minutes at least if you're just doing 3 attacks per day, for example. And if you want to push, maybe that will be a 30 minute waste of time, in my opinion. I like the way it is now, for example, because we are seeing different variations of arena defenses, and some is actually tougher because when somebody has like Cersei or Icarus at let's say 6 yellow 5 reds and I only have them 5/5 and they bring in 7-star 7 red Omega red, I can't kill those and I can't get my extra burst, you know, when you kill somebody with Icarus ult and he will go again. I can't do that, so I need to play differently and take in another team. And how do I solve this? And oh, they mixed in Doom here with his 5 reds and totally maxed out in teal gear and so on. So I think that the arena meta that we have right now is probably one of the best that we had since the legendary soup. You remember with the Phoenix and...
I agree. I like this arena very much.
And it's fast.
Just last night, Jumpy McSpasm put Hella into his defense in arena, and I had seen it the day before, and it caught me off guard, and I went in with the wrong team, and the Gregs rewind the time so that they get to go first. I was like, oh, that's how that works. So I learned something, and then last night, haha, Jumpy, I knocked you out of first and took that payout. So he's always putting in really good defenses in my arena shard. So I like to mention him because I like when people use interesting stuff. Absolutely. And he did catch me off guard once, but you know, fool me once, fool me twice. So it's a fun arena that you get to go back and forth on. But
it is.
Back to that Darkhold team though, a lot of people are really upset at those very specific call outs to Cersei and Icarus. And the thing is that they tried doing something different once and it didn't work. And I hate to do this, but I don't really want to blame Scopely on this one, because what happened is they made the Black Order and then COVID hit. Yeah. And everything got messed up and they couldn't build the right team to put out to counter Black Order in a timely fashion, and everybody had Black Order for like a year and a half, building it bigger and bigger and bigger. And we hated that mirror match, but everybody was just like, I got to get my arena cores. So they built a Black Order huge. And so then they needed to put out a team that could beat Black Order. And what did we get? we got Infinity Watch, and Infinity Watch was just OP, like broken powerful, and that was the wrong way to do it. And they didn't want to make stupid call-outs to Thanos and stupid call-outs to Cull Obsidian, even though they did try a little bit. But the Infinity Watch was OP and blew it away. And so now everybody raced to build Infinity Watch bigger because they realized how overpowered they were. And so to beat Infinity Watch, they make the Eternals. And this is where they made a real mistake. They tried it again, and they made two people way too powerful. Icarus especially is just broken, too powerful.
Yeah.
And so finally on this time, although the Eternals gave us the ability to mix and match a little bit.
Yeah.
So that was a little bit better. So finally, this time around with the Darkhold team, they're just like, oh, fuck it. Let's just do call outs to Icarus and Cersei so they stop using those two people. You know, so I don't think the Darkhold team is going to be too powerful. I think they did the right thing, which it sucks, but they had to. They did the call outs to kill Icarus and Cersei and change up our arena meta.
The problem that I see also that I wrote down for this node also, since we were going to talk about arena, but we are already there and talking about it, which is good, is that when you have, for example, Agatha now, what will be the next character to take her down from the pedestal? You know, you need to create something that is even way more powerful, like super power creeped, or you need to bring in a special arena tag. You know, that one that they did with Cersei and Icarus, and now with Agatha and so on. What do you think will be the next character? Will that be like a super OP character that is good in every game mode, or do you think that the way forward with the arena will be mostly arena tags, same as we have with War, and also that will come up with Crucible and so on? For me, I think it will be tags for all the game modes now, since we know about the Crucible with the defense and so on, that it will be special rooms and you will have special tags with characters that's coming out. You think that is the way forward they will go?
Are you asking what's going to be the next popular character to go ham on? Or are you asking me what's the next character to beat the Darkhold team?
Yeah, the Darkhold team in that case. Because I think the characters to beat the Darkhold team primarily already exist in our roster. Okay.
I think... Now, I would love to believe that Scopely was smart enough to put a chink in their armor somewhere that the player base is going to discover and go, oh, this is the trick. Okay, this is how you shut down Wong, and then you can go after Strange, and then you can overcome Agatha or something, right? You know, I think that's... I would like to believe that. I don't know that they did that this time around. I hope they catch on to that idea and put some sort of a built-in chink in the armor to these teams. Of course, when they think of that idea, they're going to build a chink in the armor, but you're going to have to buy the next character to access that. But I do think that this player base is so incredibly intelligent that 12 minutes after this Darkhold team comes out, we're going to have some crazy stuff that works really well. I mean, Scopely told us, hey, you want to use Mordo for the Dark Hunters. And now we have like a list of like 12 different characters as fifth on that team for whatever situation you want. You know, the player base is very smart. So I believe that the answer to the Darkhold team is primarily already in the game.
The funny thing that you're mentioning that when you're saying like after 12 minutes we will get an answer, it's kind of funny because if you look at it and also take back to your former comment about if Scopely, or you hope that Scopely will be intelligent enough to make us like, okay, this is the trick. I don't think they are smart enough to do that, to be perfectly honest. But we are smart enough to actually figure it out, if you know what I mean. So they don't think about it, but the player base is that good, and we are actually communicating with each other a lot in this game. I have never seen a stronger community in my life. So
Scopely does see what's happening, and they do learn from their mistakes, and they do react to what Reddit says and what the streamers say. The problem is they're about 6 months behind. That's their turnaround time on things. That's why we have down cycles every year. January, February, March is the down cycle of this game, where everyone's pissed off and bitching. And then 6 months later, we get stuff. They usually throw out a shiny character to get everybody excited and shut them up for a minute while they scramble to fix their problems. and then 6 months later, everything's great in Marvel Strike Force. We're all happy and we're excited about stuff coming out.
Yeah.
And then since we're not bitching about anything, 6 months later, the game falls apart because they don't know how to run their own game. So it's just cycles. But I do think that, because they learned from Infinity Watch and they tried something a little different with the Eternals. And then they learned from Eternals and now they're trying something different with the Darkhold team. And so depending on how the Darkhold team plays out, 6 months later, they'll introduce something else that'll beat the Darkhold team, hopefully in a way that isn't a call out and isn't an OP character or character set,
The funny thing also, I don't remember what video it was. I was watching it today, I think, just when I cooking dinner and so on. And it was that we are gonna get use of Dormammu, for example. It was like keep Scarlet Witch on Supernatural, and we can get use of Dormammu in the new team. And I kind of giggled about it because it was like we are not even close to Dormammu. I mean, how many players has it? I'm not even close. I'm not even close to Enter City, man.
Yeah, I have 2 characters with teal gear.
Exactly. So the normal player will not even be close to have Dormammu, and when people have Dormammu, that team will be off meta. How can you see how many players do you see? I can only see top 100. I don't know how
Just
many
top
players.
100 is all I see.
Yeah,
I think
okay.
we're somewhere around 125 right now.
Yeah.
Is last I heard, but that was a couple days ago.
Yeah, and I'm here. Like, I'm super stuck. I don't have any gear for anything. I can't even build up. I cannot even build up characters.
Yeah,
to...
I'm not even building for Dark Dimension.
No, neither do I.
I did that dance on 4. I'm not going to do it on 5.
No.
I am only building the characters that I want to use elsewhere. And when I get to Dormammu, I get to Dormammu. And I guarantee you, we're up on the edge of where the try hard without buying teal gear, they're just starting to get into Dark Dimension and unlocking Dormammu and pushing their way through. Yeah. And once those people are unlocking Dormammu, they're going to be like, well, people aren't buying the teal gear anymore, so we can start releasing it. That's what's taking them so long to open up the spigot, is that they're waiting for all the people who are spending on it to no longer be spending on teal gear.
But there was some bullshit about also the war store, with the shading, with the refreshes of the store, that they don't wanted to release the new teal war orb. Do you think that is any truth in that? Because I can't even confirm or deny, because you can only read. You can only read the room.
No, the exploits don't really factor into their currency modulation in this game. They don't really deal with the exploits until the exploits become too big a problem that it actually affects their bottom line, and it's not really affecting their bottom line. Many of these exploits are getting people to spend in ways that they wouldn't normally spend, because it's like, okay, if you're going to buy a $50 offer for 35 character shards, like, that's pretty garbage in my opinion. But if you could spend that $35 offer for 50 character shards, did I say that right? Anyway, if you could spend that $35 for that offer, but by spending the $35, you end up getting the offer 10 times or something like that.
Yeah.
You're gonna buy that offer, right? If you could get away with it without getting caught, if you're okay with that, right? Yeah. And so they're getting that offer spent one more time than they normally would. Like, it's 0 or nothing. I mean, it's nothing or 1 compared to the alternative. And so they don't care that much until the player base starts bitching about it, and then they're going to make those changes. So I don't think the War Store exploit really mattered as far as them releasing teal gear. I think that they're also holding teal gear for the Crucible store, which, we're going to get a Crucible store. And that's where this backlog of characters is also going to go. They're going to have like 5 or 10 characters. Well, they'll probably have 3 tiles with 10 characters rotating through those 3 tiles that you can refresh, unlock in the Crucible store. They might even come up with a Scourge store for more gear release stuff.
Yeah, we have
and
no
don't forget, we're gonna get teal gear released in the Scourge event and in the Crucible events. So they'll be putting stuff in there too. So that's why they're holding back on a lot of this stuff, I think.
You have any date on that?
No, I have no information on that whatsoever.
Exactly. That is the problem. We have no idea when it comes out. We have no idea. They are saying,
No
coming
idea.
soon, coming soon. You know that the leagues in RTA is coming soon, right?
Right. Yeah. It doesn't benefit them to tell us anything.
No.
People are like, why don't you like philosophers always complaining? Why don't you give people agency over their roster? Why don't you give us the information we need so we can plan ahead? That does not benefit them at all. Having no information, being completely kept in the dark, has us speculating and making mistakes and spending resources that we wouldn't normally have to, and they want us to do that. So they will never give us information that they don't have to.
And it will
Until
also
the
be the
player
FOMO.
base starts leaving in droves, they're not going to give us that information.
And people are not leaving in droves. That is kind of weird though. But we are so. I mean, we can only speak for ourselves when we have played over 1,200 days. For my case, I'm not gonna leave just because they are. I'm so used to the fog of war, so I don't really care anymore. I'm just trying to play the game and have fun. But it's also a good comment from Danny. He says like, I have the feeling that a lot of the players just stopping building for DD5 and all the other Dark Dimension. I watched several CCs doing it, and now they are on the same spot as I am. And that's actually true, because nobody is caring anymore. I mean, Philosopher has cleared it. Was he third or second to clear the Dark Dimension 5? So, and also Prominence is saying, Crucible story is already confirmed. Without guidance of what's coming next, I'm just going to Horde. And Danny also says, we had that conversation yesterday. I'm not spending because I have no information, says Danny. And the funny thing is, Danny said also yesterday that if he had some kind of guidance on what to do, he would start spending again. And he's not shy on putting out the Volant, and so would I.
Hoarding is good for players in the short term, but is bad for the game in the long term. Because, like, okay, you go to the war store. I have 93,000 elite war credits because I don't know what's happening, and I'm waiting to see if a teal war gear orb comes out in the store, and I'll spend those. But the thing is now Scopely doesn't want to put that teal war gear orb in there because of people like me who have 100,000 credits saved up, and it screws everything up when they put that orb in there. So they have to come in with a different currency or put it in a different place. And then I've hoarded all this for nothing. It's really challenging. Like if they would have put something in the store of value enough for me that I would have been spending these, it'd be fine. Like, okay, and then take for instance, let's go over to the raid. Blue gear raid orbs. I have 1,722. I'm never gonna click that button because I mean, 10 at a time, that's gonna take me a day to claim all that stuff. And I don't need it. But had they put in 1,000 gold in each orb, screw it. Like 200 gold in each orb, I'd be going through and clicking those and collecting them for nothing more than the gold. But now I have this horde of this blue gear stuff. They can't do an orb opening event because of guys like me who have a bazillion of these orbs. So the hoarding sucks for the game in the long term, and they should have done something about it and thought ahead. But they don't think ahead. They're very reactionary, and they're very slow to react.
Yeah, and we are also back to hoarding now with the new unique coming out, and it's not the unique, only the unique for the teal. It's also for the orange score, orange unique. I was opening like 150 orbs last night, and I saw a guy on Reddit today, I think, that he was opening 2,000 orange orbs, and it was just like, oh shit, there goes my shot of getting the new unique pieces. So we are kind of back to hoarding again. I don't really mind that they are introducing new gear to the game, but what I am against is that if they are introducing new stuff for us to farm, we need to get more resources to actually get it. If you know what I mean, they need to probably double it.
The reason they're introducing new gear and new currencies is because of hoarding, because of they can't control it well enough. They don't have a good enough idea of how to control these currencies and these amounts of gear out there, and they need everybody to be at the same spot, and no one is, because some of us have hoarded, some of us are longtime players and all that. So instead of instead of having this thought out ahead of time, they just introduce a new currency or a new gear piece or whatever, and now everybody's in the same spot and they can easily control it. If they would think ahead, now that they're introducing this new gear, if they would think ahead and be like, okay, how is this going to play out in the long term? How can we keep people using all these pieces? Like, what if we were to introduce a system where they could exchange gear at, even if it's a 10-to-1 ratio? Like, right?
Yeah.
Like, I've got all these orange gear parts that I don't care about for tunes. I don't, like, let's just go take a look. I'm guaranteed there's some stuff here in my store of junk I don't really need. Okay, like, I don't need carbonadium anymore. Like, all my characters that use carbonadium that I want to build, I don't need it anymore, and I've got 70 left. I'd be willing to trade those 70 for 7 pieces of some, I don't know, of like Uru or something for Cersei, or whatever. and that would help you to get rid of all your excess crap so that no one's hoarded up some stuff. But they don't want to do an exchange rate. They would rather have you have the excess crap and then sell you an entirely new gear piece.
Yeah, and that is the part of the strategy also, because people will spend real money instead of just taking the time. The problem is that we are giving them so much time that I think that we should be able to get something from it. And it's the same with the event. If we are looking at it, I think that it was a point that I was supposed to bring up today also, so we can go through it in a few minutes. It's like, the event, when I look at it, if you look at the orbs, for example, this is probably one of the worst orbs I've ever seen. It gives you nothing. The only orbs, the only thing that we want to have here as exclusive than late game players is, where are they? It's Cloak, and he's farmable in the raid store.
Right.
That's
this
the
is
only
one of
thing that
the
you want.
worst orbs. This orb is about as valuable to me as the Thanos giving orbs.
Yeah, this is bullshit.
Because there's nobody in there but Cloak that I need, and I'm farming Cloak daily anyways.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'll take it when I get that chance of a Cloak. I mean, come on. Nobu and M'Baku, that's insulting, man.
Yeah,
that's insulting.
But also, if you look at it from a different point of, I'm always trying to see something. I'm looking at things objectively. Like, for example, with Nobu and who did you say? M'Baku. Okay, M'Baku for new players can be used with the Chaos Theory. Nobu is unlocked with they had a Catalyst event, and you can use him. He's also for a legendary or something, right? That I don't remember. But as I did right now, I was opening 11 orbs. I got 0. I mean, the only thing I got was 33k gold.
Yeah,
I have already
the gold
everything
isn't that
maxed.
much either.
No.
When you need 13 million gold to take a character from 0 to max.
Exactly.
Like 13 million gold, and they're releasing 5 characters every patch. That's 1 a week. I can't even save up 13 million gold in 1 week.
No.
So you have to skip characters or purchase gold out of the store.
And you won't do that. You won't purchase the gold.
I don't buy gold anymore.
No.
I don't care if they sell gold orbs for 25 cents. I just won't do it anymore.
No.
The only thing I'm ever buying is the new character release packages, and I just buy one of those.
Yeah.
And that's just because I want to have access to the character early. I want to be able to talk about it ahead of time with everybody else. If I wasn't making content, I probably wouldn't even buy the character releases. And you know what? Buying the YA team members, those felt bad. I didn't enjoy that team. It wasn't fun for me at all. And I purchased them, and I kind of regret doing that. I'm not saying the team is trash or anything. It's just a character that I didn't enjoy purchasing.
Oh.
And so even those are,
Also, as you look at it, as you're saying, you are buying characters on release. But how does it feel for you? Because I've only spent on 5 characters over 1,200 days. I'm not a big spender. I spend when I enjoy it. Like, I can open my wallet and spend money if I like to. But I've stopped spending on characters, or fairly enough, I didn't even start, to be honest. Because really, really early in this game, I realized that if I bought a character, they don't work as address. They are probably bugged, or
50% of the time that you're not getting what you purchase.
Exactly. And how does that feel for you that are doing this every single character? How do you feel when you are purchasing and you notice that this character doesn't work?
I'm used to it now. I know what I'm getting into, and so that goes into my calculation of purchasing the new release packages. And so, when you get a Kate Bishop that doesn't work like she's supposed to, it makes it feel that much worse. But I'm expecting that.
Yeah.
That's part of the mental drop rate, if you will, of these
Yeah.
purchases. Like it's part of the RNG package of this game, and I'm used to it. But people who haven't been playing for more than 1,000 days, or
Yeah.
more than 500 days, probably don't get that, and it gets a little frustrating. But that's all factored in. The other reason I enjoy buying the new release characters is because I don't have the time to be the strictest of players. I don't like to set a 2-hour timer for blitz runs and stuff. And I very much want to unlock legendary characters on the first pass. So buying that one new character release offer is usually the difference that gets me from 4 stars to 5.
Yeah. And since we are into the subject of Blitz already, I think that we can do a little bit of an overlap here and go straight into the talking points. And actually,
Right, yeah.
a way big part there's why you're here and why I invited you. Since I've been following you for a few months, I've been watching your content for longer than I've been following, so to speak. And you and me have very different playstyles. You like to build teams that can auto everything because you want to be
Yes.
as efficient as moment, and that means also less screen time. That is kind of easy to calculate. On my hand,
That's right. I like to hit auto, make a sandwich, and come back to a victory screen.
Exactly.
And that way I'm getting my Marvel Strike Force done while multitasking. I very much like to multitask, and you can't do that without hitting the auto button.
That is true. And me, on the other hand, I also like to build overpowered team, but I actually enjoy playing the teams like in raids. And don't hang up on me now, but I also enjoy playing some of the teams in Blitz. To be honest, I play Blitz manually, maybe, and not like with 35 teams straight away all the time. But when I have a team unlocked, for example, when I unlocked Omega Red, I play the shit out of that team in Blitz just to get a feeling about how they works, and even sometimes I'm going in with Supernatural, smashing stuff, going in with Eternal just to get kills, just for fun, because I think it's fun when I have time, of course. When I'm at work,
You know what?
it's going fast.
Playing manually in Blitz is a fantastic way for new players to not only get ahead a little bit because you score more points and you can collect those shards and catch up a little bit faster.
Yeah.
But also, it's a great way to learn how these characters work and get accustomed to them. And you can take the time to read what the buttons do and everything. And you get to experience a variety of different people attacking into them and attacking into different people.
Exactly.
It's a very great way to learn is by playing it out in Blitz.
Yeah.
And so catch up and play. So it's a good thing to do. It's just, I ain't got time for that.
No, I make time for it because I'm skipping something else. Like I'm taking out 3 arena attacks just to play one team in manual Blitz, for example. But the thing is that I want to learn how the team function, exactly the thing that you were talking about. But I also take into consideration. But it's kind of easy for me to say because I'm playing at the end game and so on. But I also take into consideration when I'm going into a Blitz match with a new team that they don't have the war buffs, they don't have the raid buffs. But I do want to have an understanding about how they works. And the best example that I can give is actually I have a very tiny Young Avengers. I think they are like 300k. I didn't build them at all. And now it's gonna lag because I am on BlueStacks. But I haven't even lost at 8.3 with them. And I think it's a fun team to play with. So I'm going in and actually doing it by myself. Just for funsies. There they were. Let's see. Where are they? Here. 303k. And 3 stars on Echo and 3 stars on Kate. But I still play them because I enjoy it. I enjoy the retaliation. Yeah, I enjoy the functionality of the team. And when I learn things, I always strive to learn more stuff to be better at the game. Most players just want to, okay, this is the cookie cutter team. I'm going in here, smash, done. And I don't want to be that player.
You get 2 different camps. They're like, they're like, oh, tech is trash. Everybody hates tech. And then we get a cookie cutter team for tech. And then everybody's like, oh, I'm tired of these cookie cutter teams.
Exactly.
And I'm
Yeah.
like, well, pick one. What do you want? You want to theory craft and be challenged, or do you want to just buy a team and hit the auto button? Like, pick one.
Yeah.
So back to Blitz.
Yeah.
Would you? So you probably, since you like playing Blitz manually, you don't
Yeah, I do.
want a sim all button then, right? To save some time, just hit that sim all button every 2 hours.
That is a kind of easy question to answer, to be honest, because yeah, I would like to have a sim all button, because sometimes I don't have time to play it, and especially when it comes to events. And if I don't have time, of course I want to sim all my Blitz battle, but it also depends on how do you build a sim all bottom up. If it's going from top to bottom when it blitz, when it sims, or does it go from bottom to top? You know, it depends on how they are implementing the sim all button. Well, because it can be kind of messy, but yeah, I'm afraid that they are gonna screw the bottom up, the button up. So I would say no when it comes to
wouldn't
Scopely.
you just, depending on whichever way it goes, wouldn't you just reorder your teams? You could just reorder them so that they go from ascending to descending instead of vice versa. But
If I know,
I'm
if I
totally
know.
against a sim all button. I
Okay,
think that's
cool.
a horrible idea, and I think it's going to screw up the game if they ever do it. And here's why.
Yeah.
For me, I'm probably in the beneficial half of a sim all button. Because like right now I come in, let's take the Kestrel Blitz, for example. I just recently got 7 stars on Kestrel. So I didn't partake in that event.
Yep.
I did one pass through it to get the milestones. And then every day I did literally 2 simmed Blitz matches, and then I was out. Now, it had the value was not there for my time. There's no reason for me to try and push hard to get more shards, because it's just Ultimus food, and the Ultimus food has very little value too. But if I could tune in, now I wouldn't set a timer for it, but I probably log into the game 3 or 4 times a day just on my own, just because I'm waiting in a line somewhere or something, right? So if I log in those 3 or 4 times, I'm gonna tap that sim all button.
Yeah.
Where normally I would not.
Yeah.
Normally I would not. And that means that my roster is going to be pushing those numbers up in the leaderboard and pushing newer players down.
Yeah.
And it's going to make it harder for newer players to get Kestrel. I don't need Kestrel.
No.
I don't need to be doing sim all the time. And that's what's going to happen, is you're going to have players hitting that sim all button 3 or 4 times a day. Some of those try-hard guys that are like, screw it, I'll go for 8 sim all buttons a day and go for that Ultimus food, you know, and just destroy those Blitz predictions and make it very challenging. So I don't think we should do a sim all button.
I like that you brought that point up, because that is something that I wanted to say to you also about Blitz. I was starting to not care about Blitz when they introduced the sim button, because before that I was easily reaching top 1% because I had the time to, even when I was working and so on, I had the time to go in and do manual Blitz rotation, because I had like in the morning when I wake up, I always go up 1 hour earlier than I need to, just to go into the raids, go into doing my dailies and so on, because I enjoy it, and I'm also a captain of my team, and I want to catch up with the Discord during the night, because we have several different time zones and so on. And you know that I'm from Sweden, and our leader is from NA, and you know, we had different time zones, so I need to, you know, stay attached to my team, and I want to recap what's been going on. And I had the time, like going up, doing 1 Blitz rotation, and then breakfast, and then lunch, and then when I come home, and then at the night, and then when I was going to sleep. And I could easily hit top 1%. I don't remember how many Blitz rotation it was per day. I think it was unlimited, but I've never going over like 6 or 7 per day. But when they introduced the sim button, I was just like, this is not gonna happen. And I've tried really hard, but with my schedule, I can't even do anything. I can reach like 40 millions. That is all I can do, and that's not even close to 1%. So I've stopped caring. The only time when I care about Blitz, it's when we have the events, because then I have something to strive for. Then it's a goal. But then I'm going from bottom to top and just resetting, and I don't really care about if I win or if I lose. Hey, thanks for the follow, King God 1. Appreciate it, man. Thanks for stopping by.
Trying to stay in like tier 4 or below, just for the wins. Yeah, and all that is mindless button tapping. There's no strategy. nothing. The only strategy is to try and keep yourself at tier 4 or lower so that you can speed through it, right? That's it. Like I wish they gave us another, like I want another tab that you could assign to Blitz so that it would have your Blitz 1 tab and your Blitz 2 tab. And on days when you're just going for victories, you would assign it to Blitz 2. So when you go into Blitz, it pulls up from that save squad list. And then I would arrange it 3 badass teams, like 3 sure to win teams, and then 1 sure to fail team. So I can just skim through it and automatically stay there, and then get I think it comes out to like 29 wins or 31 wins or something right now. I don't remember. and that would be kind of cool. That would help with screen time, but they're not going to add another save squad list.
Of course not.
Nor would they code it right so you could assign it, because that's the thing. Like when we were doing tower mode, it would go to your primary save squad list.
Yeah.
And then I was using war teams, and so I would have to go in and then click back or so. Oh, it was a mess. Like every single match, you would have to click to a different tab, and it was driving me nuts.
I was using my Blitz tabs all the time. But when it comes to screen time, if you take a look at the screen time, what do you think about Blitz as a screen time eater, so to speak? Do you think it's fair, or do you think it's completely waste of time? And taking into consideration the events also.
At this point, I have a hard time saying, why do we still have Blitz?
Yeah.
Right? Why can't we, I don't know, make tower mode every 2 weeks and do away with Blitz? Yes. Or, same thing with like RTA. Like I have a hard time saying, let's keep this in here. The problem is that there is a substantial percentage of the player base. When I say substantial, I mean like somewhere between 10 and 30% that enjoy these game modes and would be upset if they were removed. But we've got to pare back this game a little bit. We're introducing Crucible and Scourges. We have Tower Mode. We have Pocket Dimension. These are all within the past 6 months and 6 months ahead here. And so with 4 new game modes and 2 game modes that are essentially redundant garbage that the majority of the player base doesn't enjoy, I think we need to figure out a way to get rid of them. Like if they made RTA leagues, which I don't even know, do they even still have that? Like there used to be a league button in RTA.
Yeah,
no,
it's coming.
Events.
It's coming soon.
They changed it to events. Coming soon. Okay. It's called events now instead of leagues. Okay. Oh, leagues coming soon. Also, they got 2 different things. They say leagues coming soon and events coming soon.
Yeah.
Are they really going to add to this game mode? I mean, I think it's about as good as it's gonna get, and it's not very good.
I think that they're gonna do it sooner rather than later, just to get even more screen time out of you. But it's also a good comment from Danny, who's saying, sorry, wait. He says, Blitz for players under level 65, Tower for higher levels. What do you think about that?
Yeah, that's not a bad idea either. You could.
I like that.
I think the better idea is have 2 blitzes running simultaneously. One for an older character that new players can try hard on, and one for a older players with a new character that the guys like me can go hard on. Would probably be a better thing, because I kind of like how they did Tower this time around.
Yeah. So
with 100 floors, there was a lot more people that could do more things. Now, not many people made it to, floor 75? You had to make it to complete the milestones. There was still only like 15% of the player base that was able to pull that off. That seems pretty low to me. However, I think that game mode would be better if they would make floors at every 10 floors, you can fall back down 10 floors instead of being stuck at every single floor.
You mean for the points, to grind points?
Yeah, so that I could redo a series of floors instead of just trying to mash away one floor at a time. I think that would be better for people with smaller rosters, because I can't imagine being stuck on floor 67 and you just, the last 2 days of Tower, you just have nothing to do because you can't beat the floor no matter what you try. And that's it. You can't get any more points or anything. Like if I could drop back down to floor 60 and work my way back up to 67 each day, that gives them the opportunity to gain more points and maybe even clear the milestones without getting to floor 75. I don't know why they don't do that. Seems like a simple thing they could code into it, and it would help a lot of players to clear the milestones and be happy.
Absolutely. And it's the same also that Jai is saying they can't remove Blitz. Blitz is needed for the event. And that is also
That's
where
right.
the screen time is coming in. And I think it's when we have the events, just to get a close on the Blitz Blitz game mode, so to speak. I think that when it's events, I'm kind of fine with it because I don't really care, to be honest. I don't mind if I'm just going in and just hitting my 35 teams. I lose some, I win some. I don't really pay that much attention to it. It's just a mindless task, if you know what I mean. I wouldn't be sad if it go away.
Take it out of the dailies. Just take the requirement of Blitz out of dailies.
Yeah.
So that if there is like every time a new Blitz comes around, I'll do it for the gold, and then I can ignore that tab until a new Blitz comes because I don't want to do it, or until a new character comes out in the Blitz, and then I will try hard.
Yeah.
Or an event that comes out. I kind of wish they'd pull away from these events where you're going into Blitz every 2 hours.
Absolutely.
And for the love of God, could we just get like let's instead of doing 8 rotations, let's do 6 rotations and bring it down a little bit. And then instead of doing rotations on a 2-hour timer, let's just give every character 6 charges, and then I can do Blitz whenever I want to, and then be done with it. Like
efficiency system.
Wake up early, I can just do it efficiently in the morning with my cup of coffee, and just do 6 rotations right then and there, and then I'm done with Blitz for the rest of that event. You know,
the problem is that
they don't want us logging in every 2 hours to look at more pop-ups.
Yeah, absolutely. But the problem will also be that if you only have 6 rotations, the big rosters will just outshine the lower players, especially when it comes to events. And if it's something that is even worth going for, I'm just saying Morbius, for example. Okay, we know that. Okay, that was a bad example, but we know that the big rosters is gonna go for Morbius. But if you have a teamy, decent character, if it's only 6 charges and everybody can do it, everybody's doing it, like straight away, or at least 90%. And I think
you could just, I don't know.
It's really hard. It's really hard to figure out how to set up.
There's pros and cons to every little situation, and that's Ripley's challenge to overcome is how do you appease everyone with these changes, or at least the majority. Like, how do you get the most people happy with these changes? For me, I would just like to see them remove Blitz altogether. And come up with a different way to release characters, or they could still do Blitz events. But have your Red Star Blue Orb blitzes, have those run once a week, and then you could do a new character Blitz once in a while, and then just never run Blitz again. Like it just have it be an event that pops up, something like Tower Mode, something like Pocket Dimension, where these things just pop up once a week or once a month, and they just run for a day or 2, and then they're gone. And the majority of it, we don't have to deal with. Like, if you need to release a new character via Blitz, you can run a Blitz. But the rest of the time, just, at least for the love of God, take it out of the daily requirements, so I don't have to go into that stupid tab to do 2 Blitz rotations, which doesn't take much time, but I just don't want to have to do it.
Yeah, and when you're saying release new characters in other ways, do you, of course you remember, because that was probably one of the best releases we've had. It was the raid releases with, for example, Black Panther, and was it?
Those were awesome.
Deadpool,
like
and
the Thanos raid and the Deadpool raid. Those were fantastic. I loved them. I loved them. I think there was some exploits going on with those back in the day. I don't remember. I was still early to the game and wasn't paying that much attention. But I think those are great ways. I would love to have that. And they don't need to reskin it or anything. They can just be like, hey, we're just going to do raid release events for these that you can do on an individual basis, or if they want to screw us with your alliance or whatever, I'd be fine with that. There's a multitude of ways. You could put shards into tower mode, right? As long as they don't make it top heavy into the leaderboard, as long as they just put it on the floors, and you get, like, I don't know, 3 shards for every floor you climb or something like that. I don't know.
It's a good idea. So the closing thoughts.
There's 300 if you can make it to floor 100. There's 300 shards of a new character release, right?
I'll take it.
That's just off the top of my head. It sounds pretty decent to me.
Yeah. So closing thoughts then. Are Blitz negative screen time sucker, or do you think it's a quality screen time?
For me, it's crap for a small percentage of the player base, there is quality that can be found there. Especially for newer players who want to go through those rotations and play them manually. You can learn and you can grow your roster a bit faster, and it does give you a little bit of a catch-up mechanic. So it's a tough call for me to say remove it altogether, but it could definitely use some tweaks, although a sim all blitz button is not a good idea. So that's my take on blitz.
I'm gonna stand with you there. I think it's a waste of time if it's not in an event, because then I'm just going mindlessly into it and don't really care about it, to be honest. And then
take it out of the daily requirements. There's no need for it to be a daily requirement.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't bring you anything. And we are jumping straight into RTA. I know that you had some fun. We were speaking about it earlier in the stream. Can you take me through it, since you were kind of hyped about it, to be honest?
What, RTA?
Yeah.
Oh man, RTA! What a great game mode that one is. Only took them about almost a year to make this thing work where it's functional. Has no overarching value in the game. You don't release any characters. You do have to do it in your dailies, which is another thing. Like, take it out of dailies. You know, there's rewards in here. There are some objectives that give you what is this, ratings tokens, and then you've got T1 ions and L3 training modules. Like, there's some stuff in here. I think that they should increase the objective rewards for people who want to play this.
Yeah.
Not substantially, but just a little bit. Like, it's not good enough for me to play it.
No.
Right?
Absolutely
I'm
not.
only playing it for the reward track, the 100 things where, you know, this final one is the augmented charged particles in the free track. And I'm not paying for the top track. So for me, it's just like, once I complete the track, I'm done. It's not good enough for me to go in here and chase down 1,000 ions a week, you know, or whatever it is, or maybe it's about 2,000 total, I think. So they could boost the individual rewards for actually just playing the thing for fun, and then I might go into it. It might be one of those things where, like, I'm streaming and I have nothing better to do. I could go into RTA and do some try hard teams and see how it goes while I'm talking with Chad. But it's not that great. I don't like it being in dailies because there are days when I just don't want to do RTA at all.
No, I don't even want to do the dailies, to be honest. I think this is a completely wasted game mode.
Especially when you complete the track and you've got like 4 days to go. Like, I don't want to look at that tab for those 4 days, because there is nothing in there for me to bother with.
The rewards suck. Also, they should double it. Just straight up double it for the free to play, and double it also or even triple it for the payment. I would probably be interested.
Why don't? What I would love is, because I think that correct me if I'm wrong, but I think there's still 3 levels of RTA. Like, newer players get in a different league than the rest of us. I don't remember.
I think it's the Strike Pass, to be honest.
Oh, is it the Strike Pass?
Yeah.
Oh, it's the Strike Pass. That's right. Well, I think that they should have 3 tiers of RTA.
Yeah.
And have the individual, the objective rewards, the weekly and daily objective rewards.
Yeah.
Have those much bigger for newer players at that low level stuff, like blue ability mats and green ability mats and whatever new players need. Dump that stuff into their accounts and get them built up and going and competing with the rest of us faster.
Yes.
Let them have at it in the RTA. You know, and then they can play through with these characters and try out how they work and learn and stuff. Use it as a training wheels, a training ground for newer players to catch up and learn and get going. Just like in Blitz has some value for newer players to catch up and get going. You know, pivot and push that angle a lot more in RTA, and let the older players and Krakens and whales and stuff, let us just skip this thing entirely. Unless they want to actually activate that event tab, unless they actually want to activate leagues. They've got matchmaking close enough for my taste. The bans are sometimes pretty decent now.
Yeah, it is.
Right? So you could do character releases through an event in RTA, and what the heck? We'll give it a shot. I don't know. I mean, I think that there's opportunity now that they've tweaked it so much and they've invested so much into it. There's opportunity for them to use this game mode, but they also need to make it not necessary at all for people who want to skip this entirely.
Yeah. Would you be more interested in RTA as a game mode if they releases the events and the leagues, so to speak? Would it be more intriguing to you to play? Because personally, I've never been a big fan in any game to play PvP. I like playing against, like in war, because people have set their own defenses and so on. But real-time PvP for me has always been like, I don't really like it.
I didn't like it. I didn't like it, but then after being involved in some tournaments, it's really started to grow on me. Like if you see like really good players strategizing and stuff, and you're seeing stuff you've never seen before. I kind of equate it to like, you know, chess enthusiasts, right? Like they may play the game and they're good at it or whatever, but they really enjoy watching the masters play, and it's kind of interesting to them to see those strategies unfold. That's exciting for me. So after experiencing some of that, going into RTA isn't so bad for me because I'm starting to practice some of the strategies that I see in the tournaments. And so that's okay, but it's kind of like I don't know, it's kind of like a diluted form of a tournament for me. What I don't want actually is the leagues.
Okay.
Because then I would feel pressured to try hard all the time to do good in the league.
Yeah.
I would rather the event where it's just once in a while it pops up and I just try real hard for that couple of days and then it's over and I can go back to ignoring it. The leagues sounds terrible where it's like you know, like RTA, I have to do, or not RTA, in Arena, I have to do Arena every single day. I have to do my 5 matches every single day.
Yep.
If I want those cores, that core payout, I have to do it. And if I want to get real hardcore, I have to be there at exactly payout time to try and ace somebody out of the top spot.
Yep.
And so I'm okay with Arena because of the way it's there. And we can get to Arena later. I'm okay with that. But man, RTA isn't a fun enough or good enough setting for me that I want to see leagues come. I want to see events come to RTA, but not leagues.
Okay. I think it's a completely waste of time. Not only do I don't care about PvP, it can be intriguing if you release it in a good standard, but the rewards for RTA, it sucks. And that's why I don't want to play it at all. Like, I'm not interested.
It's for teal gear hunters who want to buy the top track.
Yeah,
that's what RTA is for. Is for the teal gear right now.
Yeah, and the solution for that, for me to be interested, is double the free-to-play rewards and triple the pass rewards. I would probably buy the pass rewards. And just gonna catch up with the chat a bit quick here. Let's see. Danny says also, it's an idea to combine Blitz and RTA for event points. Can be good. Somebody doesn't like Blitz, they do like RTA, for example. Danny also say, if you play RTA to win, there are a lot of interesting matchup. I know that because I do that. I know that Artrades, or Danny as he called it in the chat, he's going in with some funky brawlers team just to have some fun. Jaha says, RTA would be good if they gave you a challenge option to challenge people you know. Would be a good...
I like that point.
To help
I like
test
that point.
out
I think
teams.
Because when you do like a balanced draft match or something like that, that drafting is so clunky and slow. No one really likes to do balanced or classic draft.
Yeah.
But if you were able to challenge somebody at RTA where you pick your team ahead of time, all I want is the opportunity to do mirror matches like in RTA where you can do a Doom against a Doom or whatever. Throw it in there, like add that into the list of things that you could do when you challenge somebody, is the RTA version of it.
And also that I want to know from the chat, since I don't know how that works, Run7, maybe you can get me through it, but I have my on Discord. I can see that I'm talking and I'm not muted in Discord. Does that affect the sound that's coming out into the stream? So does the sound quality sounds good in the stream, by the way? I don't know that. Should be good, right? Because nobody has complained. Sounds good, sales
You
roll.
sound fine to me.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, your Discord shouldn't be sharing your sound to the stream.
Okay.
The only way it would be working is if for some reason the sound was coming through my headset and getting picked up into my microphone or something. But I'm not playing on speakers; it's going through my headset. I doubt anybody can hear that, so we should be good.
All right. Since we were touching on Arena there, Run7, we should take a look at it. What is your overall opinion about Arena? We have been talking about the Arena meta. We did it before, and we both agree that we like it the way it is. If you look at Arena as a whole, and not look for the new teams or what is coming, and you just look for arena as a game mode, is that a waste of time, or is it actual worth as a game mode to be played for the rewards?
As long as we can stay away from mirror matches, as long as we have arena metas that are like what we have right now, where there's a good handful of different characters and every once in a while somebody tries something crazy and new and catches you off guard. As long as there's a little bit of skill and challenge and thought that needs to be put into it, I like arena just the way it is. I don't think there's anything that they should do to change it. I don't think that they should change the payout system. I think it, though nothing's ever going to be perfect in this game, I think arena is as close to overall good as they're gonna be able to get. And I think if they try to tweak it in any way, shape, or form, it's just gonna piss off more people than it's going to help. I think it doesn't suck up enough of my time that I have to bitch about it, because it's 5 matches in a day. So usually that's the thing I do when like I'm waiting in line at a drive-through or something like that. I'm waiting in line. I'll bring it up and I'll do an arena match or something like that. And that seems to be fine. It's just one quick match, and that's, that takes less than 5 minutes. Well, probably like 7 minutes with all the loading time. But yeah, I'm okay with arena as is. I think that though it's not perfect, it's good enough.
Are you annoyed about the slingshot mechanics that is happening, or do you think it's just like happens?
Oh hell yeah, yeah! Slingshotting, the soft locking or lockout things that you do and everything. Like, I think it is absolutely ridiculous that there are sign-up sheets for arena shards, and you sign up to be in the top 20 and go through a rotation of being 1 through 20 for the payout. That is so absurd to me. And then those 20 people just lock out the top. Yeah. You know
that is happening in most of the games, right? In most of the end game systems in mobile games, that happens.
I refuse to do it. I'm the dark horse underdog that just push and fight. And I know, like, here, let me see here. Let's do. Hold on a second.
Yep.
I'll give you. Here. There's here you can click on that window.
Yeah.
And there's me this morning, and I busted my ass to get here. And there are people in this arena shard that hate me because I refuse to sign up on their stupid sheet and be a part of their dumb game. Luckily, there's enough of people like me in my shard that refuse to play that stupid game and actually play the game as we're supposed to. Yeah. And get to score. So I love it when I can get a good score like this and knock those people out. Yeah. Otherwise, it just yeah, I think that's ridiculous. Those different things. Let's get you back to this one here. There's that. You'll have to click on it again.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, so yeah, the soft locking and the slingshotting are ridiculous. I would very much like it if we could get either whatever the highest rank you achieved was, that's what your payout will be for that period, or probably what would be better would be more like a king of the hill type situation where it's however much time, like the average amount of time spent at a certain rank, like whatever rank you spent the most time at during that day. So if I want to guard my phone and fight to keep this rank number 1, then I'll get, even if payout comes and I get knocked down to 5, it doesn't matter because most of the day I was at rank 1 and that's where I'm going to get my payout. Or an average, I'd take it an average. Like if I was bouncing between 1 and 5 all day and they pay me out at 2 or 3, that's fine with me too.
Yeah, I've stopped attacking when I am, I do like when I have time, and if I can remember, to be honest. I'm doing 2 attacks in the morning somewhere, depending on what rank I am. If I am, let's say, between 7 and 10, I'll just do 1 attack in the morning. Then I will wait until lunch, do 1 attack more, and then I do 2 attacks between 5 and 6, somewhat. The real invader says, if you softlock, you make yourself a target the next day. I drop a lot the next day if I do that. But it also... I mean, softlock and softlock. I think when I see, if I know that I can beat a team, if I can beat number 1 in under 3 minutes, I'll wait until it's 3 minutes left and gamble for it if he's not attacked. I can gamble for it. That doesn't mean that I am soft locking, but many people can see or think that I am soft locking, but I'm actually gonna go for it.
Right.
So
I usually go into, like, if I'm shooting for number one,
yeah.
I'll hit that number one team with about 7.5, maybe 8 minutes to go.
Yeah.
And then as I'm picking my team, right, which is probably already preloaded, I will wait about 2 minutes in that waiting area, and then that match, I will do that match and wait until there's 10 seconds left to hit auto and blow the team up with Icarus. And that's the best I can do. And the thing is, like, if I wait for like 5 minutes and then don't wait in the waiting room, well, first off, if I wait for the last 5 minutes, somebody else has already taken that number one spot, and I'm sitting there, they're under attack, I can't do it.
No.
So I gotta jump in there, and then you gotta drag your feet, because there is the chance that you'll finish that match too early with like a minute and a half or something. And with these teams that we're using, you can, I'm pointing at my screen, but you with these teams that we're using, you know, Icarus can beat them in 60 seconds on auto if you have the right setup. So Rolf Kieran says arena should be dynamic. You should see more different teams on defense and use a mirror lineup on offense. Well, Rolf Kieran, we are getting teams that have arena tags, and I guarantee you they're probably going to start seeing some arena defense and arena offense, so that it breaks it up and you don't have any mirror matches. I think that's what we're going to see. Also, Rolf Kieran, you owe me 10,000 dub coin. Because, man, I was on your side. I said under for sure on that T-dub.
You're going down, Roll.
So, yeah, I lost 10,000 dub coin on that scam. I had your back. I didn't think you spent that much.
Bad. Yep. Slap on the wrist.
Yep.
But yeah, but also the game is designed to play that way in arena also. That is fine. But when you're talking about the cheats, and also I think I wouldn't go that far that I would say it's cheating, but it's a system, and the system exists because of how the game is played, so to speak, and they would probably change it. But in your overall experience of the arena, would you say that it's a waste of time, it's negative screen time, or would you say it's positive screen time?
I think it's great for me because I can get 200 to 500 cores every day out of it, and I very much need those cores. I haven't had to purchase cores in a very long time, so I like this system. I think that anybody who is a try-hard person and enjoys playing this game can get into the top 50, at least top 100, and those cores are super valuable and useful. So the rewards are good. I like how it's structured right now. As long as there is a good arena meta that with some change and thought into it, it's fine. No more Black Order, no more Infinity Watch mirror match garbage. Then I'm good with it overall. I think there should not be any changes made to it, except I don't like slingshotting. I don't know if soft locking is a thing you could even fix with people, you know, with groups of people signing up to box people out of the top. I don't know if you can even fix that. But I think what really upsets me, I would actually be okay with the slingshotting if Scopely would nut up and say, hey, we know that this is an exploit. We don't have the time or resources to fix it because there's other things that are more important, so we're going to leave this in place. Because that's what's really happening. And instead they say it's a feature, which is fucking bullshit. That pisses me off. They are too lazy, too busy, too understaffed, whatever their excuse is. That's it. And I want them to own it. I just want them to say, we're sorry, this isn't a priority for us. And I would be like, hey, at least you're honest. But they're not. They're saying it's trying to sell it to us as a feature along with every other thing they try to sell to us.
Like bugged characters that you enjoy very, very much.
Right, yeah.
I don't think that challenges is particularly game mode, but overall, are you happy with the challenges that we are having weekly and dailies? Do you feel that this is good enough, or do you want to see something more?
In our daily objectives?
No, more than...
the challenges. Oh, the challenges. That's right, the challenges. Hold on, let me go and take a look at how many of these challenges matter to me. Orb Fragment Challenge, I love because it gives me those red stars. Catalyst of change is I'm finding is really necessary, but could we get another tier in there for teal gear? I think we're close enough. Let's get a new challenge in there.
I'm not even at tier 7. I haven't upgraded my hand because it's 1.5 million gold that I will never get back for nothing, to be honest.
Right. And I mean, are you able to get what tier? You're at tier 7, you said?
6. I think it's
oh, you're at 6. Oh,
yeah,
wow.
yeah,
So you're not even getting any of the gold gear out of there.
No. I just don't care.
Get yourself to tier 9, man. Get yourself to tier 9 so you can start.
Catalyst. Aha, the catalyst. Oh, I was thinking about the hand. I was thinking about the hand. Oh, jeez.
Oh, I was
thinking about the event.
Get yourself to tier 9 so you're generating some of the gold. The gold superior basic catalysts.
I'm tier 12.
Oh, what's your tier 12? Okay, so you're fine there then.
Yeah. I was thinking about the hand event. You know, when they comes around. You know, with when you need a hand, minions and bullshit. It's in events.
Oh, that event.
Yeah.
Oh, flash events. You're talking about flash events.
No. We are talking about the challenges now. But I was just bleeping out.
Right.
We're just bleeping out because we talked about the catalyst.
all of the original events, that's the mutagens, alchemy, expertise, industry, all of those events are garbage. They're totally useless. They can be taken out unless they want to put in new ranks with teal gear in them. Then I'm okay with it. And hey, could we do something like, okay, so I'm in original industry right now is what I'm looking at. And the possible rewards are 6 pieces of unstable molecules and 3 pieces of the other tech gear, right? So let's make difficulty 4, 5, 6, and even 7 and have it like 1 piece of teal gear and then some more gold gear on difficulty 4. And then make it 2 pieces of teal gear for 1 item and 1 piece of teal gear for the rest. And then each difficulty, you just raise it 1 more so we get, you know, so that there's a range of it and make them really hard. I want Philosopher to struggle at the top difficulty level, right?
Yeah.
So that they've got some longevity, so that as our rosters grow, as they add commander levels, as they add gear levels, we have things already in place. Hell, make it go on up to difficulty 12, you know, and make it ridiculous. Like they did with the Scourges. They're like, difficulty 10 is impossible for anybody to beat. Like you need gear tier 19 or something.
Yeah.
Right? So build for the future on these events. You can always increase the payout later. So put in something very, very insignificant increments of growth as you go up those difficulties, and then later as you introduce, I mean, if we get to teal gear or gear tier 19 or, you know, red gear or whatever, you can add those in and beef those things up later, but put them in place now. The training day one is okay, although I'm not hurting there. The ability enhancements is garbage, man. They're not giving us near enough 5 T4 ability materials, and who cares about the rest? I don't use purple or blue ability mats anymore. Man, they need to knock this thing up to like 25 at least. So let's get some more challenges in there. And of course, if we ever get like Zetas or whatever, you know, the T5 ability mats, you know, that's going to need to go in there.
Yeah,
the medical supply run. Medical supply run.
It's good.
Yeah, that's okay right there. I mean, obviously I'd like higher tiers, obviously there too, but that one's okay. It's one of those that I use all of that stuff, but I don't really pay attention to it.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't mind getting a little bit more Elite 4 credit, of course. I mean, more is always going to be better, but that one's probably the only one that's okay. It's like, it's there, I like it, but I don't really care whether it's more or less. So yeah, mostly it's these original gear pieces are just garbage to me if they're not going to put in additional tiers of difficulty. Yeah. What about Gold Rush? What's Gold Rush looking like?
Not much.
Gold Rush is not much there.
It's not much.
Again,
it's 120k.
Just more difficulties with a little bit bigger payout would be nice there too. I think we're getting close to that. We're introducing so many characters so fast, and simultaneously we're continually raising the commander level and the gear tier level, which requires more gold for every character that's released. So not only are we releasing them quickly, but they're costing more to bring all the way up too. And I just don't feel like we're getting that much more gold into the game right now.
Are you starved on gold at the moment?
Yeah, but I'm on that goofy raw savings plan of only 1 million spending a day, and that seems to work out okay. But man, that feels like like I go into my character selection screen and I just like select Ghost Spider and I bring her up 1 level every day. And that's all the gold I can spend. That's half my gold spent for the day, and the other half is spent in the stores purchasing gear.
If
And that's
unlucky,
it. And that's kind of boring to me.
and if unlucky, we'll spend like 1 million in the store instead, and can't do anything with the roster. I have a different strategy. I'm just saving. If I don't need to upgrade anything, I just don't upgrade. I don't spend the gold. I only use it for what I need in the store instead of in characters. And
I wouldn't spend on a character I don't need to either, but I need to build Web Warriors for Scourge. I'd like to build Dark Hunters for Scourge, and because I enjoy offensive war teams. They're fun for me. And then I need to, let's see, I have some raid characters that I want to start preparing for higher Doom difficulties. So there's lots of stuff that I'd like to spend my gold on that wouldn't be a waste, but it's 1 level, 1 character every day. That's all I can afford.
You know what I just noticed when you were speaking is that you are using a word that I also using, and it's I want instead of I need to. You know the difference? Because we want to have something because it's fun. When we say we need that is just negative. That is a negative word in Marvel Strike Force, because we want something that is positive. That is something to strive for. But if we need something, that is negative because we need to have that to do stuff.
Right, and I think that's a great point. I think that's a very good, that helps you to formulate what things Scopely needs to change and what things we want them to change, right? Like what's the most valuable stuff? Like we need to reduce our screen time or have at least some agency over what time we're on the game. We need that because players are leaving the game because it's just too much.
It is.
And then we want things like more gold, but I'm not sure if we need them. I definitely want more of everything. But if Scopely gives us what we want, we're the kid in the candy store that goes home and throws his guts up because mommy wouldn't slap his hands out of the cookie jar. We can't, if we had everything we wanted, people would leave the game because there's no challenge to it.
Yeah, it's boring. Right? And welcome to the stream also, Taco Shooters in the house, and also Light Ray Fuser.
What's up, Taco Shooter?
Welcome to the party, guys. Happy that you tuned in. So with the challenges, it wasn't meant to be a real talking point, but it went to it. But would you say that it's a good feature in the game, or is it just completely garbage? Hi, kids.
Kids are coming in for their morning.
Yeah, the Spider-Man is coming. Nice.
All right, bye, boys.
It's bedtime.
Sorry about that. What was your question? We're waking up here. It's lunchtime here.
Oh yeah, it is.
What was that question?
No, I just said that challenges, is that a good feature in the game? Of course you want to change stuff, but are you happy with just going mindless into doing challenges every day? Do you think about it?
I don't. It's a button I click every morning.
Yeah.
It's just part of the routine.
Yeah.
I do experience a positive feeling while all those things, all those rewards are going into my account for just clicking a button, right? It's part of that Neanderthal brain thing that they're training us to click a button for those rewards, right? So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I do, in the mornings when I'm having my coffee, I do experience a little bit of pleasure by knowing that I'm getting more red stars to open up later, even though I freaking hate the whole red star mechanic system. You need them because when you pull a whopping 2 red stars on Morbius, you want to spike your damn phone. And so clicking on that achievement or challenge every morning and getting some of those red stars to open up later feels good in the moment. I don't know if that's actually a good thing or not.
It gives you something. So I'm just gonna pull us over real quick to the campaign. Campaign was something that I enjoyed really much when I started the game. It was challenging. I needed and I wanted to build teams around it just to clear the campaigns. That is always something that I enjoy in games. No matter what mobile game I play, I enjoy the campaigns because it takes you forward. You have always a challenge to do, so to speak. Nowadays it's just stale for me. It's just farming G14s, for example, the minis. And what I absolutely hate with with the campaigns is this, for example. Probably it's not gonna work at the moment, but let's say that I want to farm this teal piece here. This augment basic catalyst part, and I click auto and hundreds, and I get 0 out of it. Oh, close.
Yeah.
Close. If I get 0 out of spending 100 energy, I feel like that is a complete fucking waste, in my opinion. And I really, really hate it. So for me, campaign is stay...
A minimum drop of 1,
yeah.
All right? It should give you a minimum drop of 1.
It drives you forward, right? Because as a player, I want, when I'm doing and spending something on a node, especially in campaign, I want gain something because it drives me forward. If I'm getting 0, I'm getting sick of it. And we all know with the double drops on the characters, 0 times 4 is still 0. And it leaves just a sour taste in your mouth. So what is your opinion about the campaigns at the moment as an end game player for you?
At the moment, it's just a thing. It's just another chore, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm 100% on all the campaigns. It's just another chore. The payouts, I have taught myself, like you're saying, when you click on it and 0 pops up, I've taught myself not to look at the rewards. Yeah. I don't look at what happens. I just know that I need to click those buttons. And I need to be clicking on the TBCs and the SBCs is what I've been doing. Along with going, I go into the characters, I click on Phoenix, and then I click on those mutant nodes out of her. That's just how I farm it.
Yeah.
Because, and here's a quality of life that would be great, but is way low on the list. Could we like select some specific nodes that we want to farm every day and put them in like a little box so that we can just like click farm all, and it'll just click the ones that we've highlighted or something, save me some time. So I'm not shifting around trying to find different ones, because I tell you right now, this SBC crunch is so real for me that I'm going through Doom War campaigns 1, 2, 3, and 4 and just doing the SBC nodes.
How many SBCs do you have now? Because we have been, or I as a viewer of your channel, we have been speaking about it a lot. You were at 9,000 for around a week ago. Where's your stash at the moment?
I'm glad that you guys pointed out that crunch is real, because I never experienced it. And when I started watching, somehow I had a plethora, and they are dropping fast. Let me see here. Where's somebody with SBCs so I can just click
Welcome
on
also, Babyface Vapo is in the house. Action Comics also
up,
welcome.
Vapo?
Welcome to the stream. And Action Comics is also pointing out real good comment here. How can we every plan with 0% pull rate? That is just stupid. That you can actually farm something and get 0 out of it. That is bad designing, because it only brings you frustration.
Okay, so when you guys alerted me to the severity of the crunch, I was at 9,000.
Yeah.
And I said, oh, whatever. And then like 3 days later, I was at 7,000, and I was like, oh, snap. So I am scrambling like mad. And then, of course, I think it was Voodoo and Morbius, and I took Morbius to 15, from 0 to 15. Now I'm at 6,600, and that's with me farming all those SBC nodes every day. Yeah. So I'm still on the decline. I'm still, like, I've lost 300 over the course of the last 3 days. I've lost 300 SBCs, and that's me farming as fast as I can. So that crunch is real, and I'm gonna hit it. I am trying so hard, like, I'm almost to the point where I'm going to start spending gold on SBCs out of the store. I think that's the only way I can level out. And those things are not cheap, man.
No, 240K.
Gold SBCs. Yeah, it'll give you 20, but it's 240K, man. And that almost means either I got to stop purchasing teal gear or slow down on my purchases of teal gear with gold, or I need to, add that one level to one character every other day.
I would go for levels first. I will go for level first, because that is way more expensive.
And this is one of the strategies of MSF. This is one of the things in the game. It's resource management. What's your theory? What's your pattern? What's your way of balancing? Where do you put your resources for the maximum effectiveness? And so that is going to play out in game modes like Tower, in game modes like Crucible, in the arena, even in the raids. How well are you investing your resources? And it's part of the strategy of this game. So you know, it's a thing. It's a thing.
It is. Welcome to the stream also, Bondreas. Hey man, glad to have you around.
Boundaries.
And also the real Lynn says that buy 10 SBCs for 10,000. Buy 10 SBCs for 2,000 raid tokens. We are doing that like every day.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm spending my raid
always.
and blitz and everything. Oh, whoops! There's some right there for 2,500 in the blitz store. And then, of course, the raids, I do that every day because I've got 700,000 raid currency, so I'm okay there.
Yeah.
And I've got I had 40,000 blitz currency. That's actually starting to run a little bit lower because I'm buying the SBCs out of the blitz store all the time.
Yes, Bondreas, the orange SBCs. I did this one, Dr. Voodoo and Morbius, which I got a 180 drop from Run 7. Didn't know if you noticed.
Yeah, I saw the 180 drop.
I know. I was
saw
just
that
gonna
video.
tease you a bit.
I saw the video. Yeah, you jumped out of your seat.
I know you did.
Those are fun. When somebody records like a fantastic pull or something, and you just see the joy in their face. I like those little clips and everything. I just man, I've just watched so many streamers open red stars, and they get like a mediocre pull of red stars.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like. I don't think that those videos have much value to anybody because you're either happy somebody had a crappy pull and spiked their phone on live stream or something, and that's not cool, or you're happy for the person who got a great, you know, who pulled a 6 or a 7 red star Morbius, and then you're jealous of them. And that doesn't feel very good either. You know, it's like I just man, I have trouble with the red star orb opening videos. It's a no-win for me.
It depends who it is who pulls the the biggest. I can be happy for some and less happy for somebody, but I have stopped being jealous because I think the loot boxes it's just a system that we all hate, and if somebody get a great pull, I think it's good for them, but I don't pay that much attention to it. And as you said, I don't watch the red star videos, and that's why I'm gonna dedicate the next video to you when I'm pulling red stars and just uploaded it to YouTube and spam you in your channel. No, I won't. But yeah, campaigns.
What else have we not covered about time wise? What are we on? Our alliance raids?
We are going into the biggies now. We are going into the big stuff. Let's start with raids, to be honest, because this is where the time is sinking in really, really hard. And let's start with the elephant in the room, the Greek raid or the Greek raids.
Yeah, this is an easy one for me.
Yeah.
If you're not gonna give us Alpha Raid 5, then fuck off. Like I'm so over it.
Yep.
The one thing that they can do, and this is what really kind of upsets me, is a raid sim button for individual raid matchups, right?
Thank you. Yeah.
We know that's in the game. We know it works. We know you have it. Why on earth do you not implement it? Why? Oh my God, I could deal with Alpha Raid 4 if I could sim it.
Yeah.
But this is literally 25 minutes a day of me hitting the auto button and setting my phone down and walking away.
It is.
It is such a waste of my time right now. In fact, I have 10 energy, so I'll hit it and hit auto while we sit here and talk.
Absolutely.
Watch my web warriors just absolutely destroy.
Yeah.
Give us the next difficulty challenge, and please mix up the tags so it is something interesting and challenging. I know a lot of people bitch about that creep Pimtech lane.
Yeah, I have that
because
one.
they have to build crappy characters, and that does suck. But like every time that comes around, my characters are technically big enough that I can one-shot those nodes, but I have to play my best to do it. And that's the challenge level I want in raids. I want to have to play my best to one-shot them, which is where I'm at in Mutant right now, which is where I'm at in Tech Raid right now on the Doom raids. And I'm enjoying it because I have to go and sit and focus and play the game and do my absolute best to one-shot those nodes. And I can, but it's a challenge. And so if I want to spend more on the game or invest more resources in the game, I can, and I can build those teams up to where they're easy and they compensate for my lack of attention, or they're easy to the point where I can hit auto. I have that choice to do that, but I'm not going to because I don't want to waste the resources.
Exactly.
So I want another level of challenge in the Greek raids. And I want that challenge to have tags that make me have to think and be creative, but do not require me to use crap characters.
Exactly.
Like I would say, in the Cree lane we have Minerva and Philovel, which kind of help you carry, and I guess Captain Marvel too.
Yeah.
Right. And then you're kind of filling in some junk, and it kind of sucks. But at least it's something. And they gave us Heroes for Hire down those center lanes.
Yeah, absolutely.
For some of them.
Yeah.
So,
I don't really mind
there's
the difficulty. Stuff. I don't mind the difficulty in the raid, but since I have the Pim Wakanda trash lane, I don't mind the difficulty that I need to play that I need to play the raid, because I enjoy playing the raids, like not in auto. I know that you love to auto, but I usually don't like that if I don't need to, go auto basic and so on.
When I'm streaming, I like auto. When I have my free time, like in the mornings when I'm having my cup of coffee and the kids are still asleep, I like getting into a tech raid or a Doom mutant node and focusing and being challenged. I very much enjoy that. So
I don't dislike.
So that's okay with me.
Yeah, I don't dislike the challenge that I'm being brought on. The problem that I have is that I needed to level up stature to gear 14 and put her on max green ISOs. That is something that I don't want to do, because she's useless. She's basically useless. Same with, I think I have I usually use Jello Jacket. He's not even at 7 stars, and he's not at 5 ISO either, because I don't like him. I think he's useless. The character is great. I love the character, and I've been playing with him in different other Marvel games, but in this game he kind of sucks. He's squishy as hell, and the damage is not good. And I didn't want to level him up to D14, but I needed that power jump from 13 to 14, because from 13 to 14 it's kind of massive. And Ghost is doing a hell of a good work in the boss lane, but Philovel and Minerva, it was a no-brainer, so it wasn't a problem for me. But I don't like the useless characters.
Points out that it's still the same raids after 2.5 years.
Yeah, that is ridiculous.
Exactly right.
Yeah, it's stupid.
Like, if you're not gonna give us a new difficulty with new tags and new stuff for us to do, then dear God, please give us the sim raid button.
Yeah.
Because then I don't care. Then I don't bitch about it. Then I'm like, whatever. It's just more stuff. It's just more rewards for me hitting a button. It's just a daily challenge button for me. So give us that raid button and help us, save some time.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I do want new Greek raids.
So do I.
I want the Delta raid, or whatever you want to call it. Yeah. And I want Alpha raid difficulty 5. And I want new tags on there, like something really creative and new that makes us build a different raid team out of stuff that doesn't normally go together.
Because raid is fun. In my opinion, I love raiding. I know that you are not the raid guy. You say it a lot on your stream, and I can understand that for sure. But I've always been a raid guy. I want to raid. That is what I want to focus.
I'm coming around to it.
Cool.
I'm very much coming around to it now. Like after Pathfinder got that video out about how to use Omega Red and Emma in on your mutant team to one-shot that Doom node. That makes it now I can one-shot that Doom node if I'm paying attention and it's challenging. And so that challenge is right where I enjoy it. Yeah. It's just perfectly for me, where I got to pay attention, and it's a very close match. Every once in a while, the timer's ticking down and you finish on auto with like 2 seconds left, and you're like, yeah, in for the win.
Absolutely.
And that's fun. That's fun. So it's good stuff.
And when you also mentioned the sim button, we know that it's there. And I made a proposal, like, I'm like, okay, let us sim Greek raids and let us manually play the Doom raids. Meet us halfway at least. Something like that. If they want to be cheesy.
Give us the sim button for everything, because I can auto the Mystic lanes. And I might as well have that sim button available for me to hit auto and go through the Mystic raids. Yeah.
And the Doom raid, what is your opinion? Is that a fun game mode for now, since you are now turning over into a little bit of a raider here?
I'm doing Doom 2.0 at 60% with my alliance.
Yep.
And other than the keys, having like when you want to launch raids at the usual raid launch time, but you're short 150 keys, and there's like most of the alliance is there waiting to start the raids at your agreed upon start time.
Yeah.
But no one can generate any more keys. That's bullshit, man. just let us all generate at least 200 more keys per player.
Yeah.
And that will be enough.
Or take
that
away
we
the
can
cap.
get past the hump.
Take away the cap.
Just take away the cap.
Yeah.
Take away the freaking cap.
Who fucking cares?
You know? Why not let players refresh energy more and more and more, spending their cores? I don't know why Scopely doesn't do this. Like,
Exactly.
what do they stand to gain? Other than making us get pissed off at our friends in the Alliance and fighting and people quitting the game. Like, it's just such a stupid idea.
Yeah.
And how hard is that to send somebody in and recode it that to just double the cap or remove the cap altogether? It doesn't even make sense to me.
It doesn't.
Doesn't make sense to me at all.
I don't like it. I don't like the key system at all. And it was something also that I wanted to... I mentioned it last night, but I wasn't 100% sure. But I think it was you that discussed it in this week, at least. It was the slider, that you have saw something and you looked at it on Reddit or something, that they are actually changing the difficulties.
So
was that you that brought it up? I think it was you, because I mentioned your name.
7.5, let me see if I can find who sent me that clip. And
Yeah.
see if oh man, I got way too many people messaging me these days.
Because it... Ooh,
Not like I'm popular or
big
anything. It's
boy.
just there's a lot of people that want on defense up, so I get lots of messages and it pushes everything down. No, I can't find it. Anyway, what it said was, somebody had said, I believe that there is a difficulty roll on raids, and they had basically sourced enough data that they figured out that it was changes to the armor stats
Yeah.
and possible changes to the other stats, but they had mathematically worked it out that there was changes going on to the armor stats, and they posted this, and Cerebro responded to this. Now, this was back during Ultimus 7.5. And Cerebro had responded and said, yes, we do. We vary this. Your initial run starts out at 100% difficulty, and every run after that has a difficulty roll. And Cerebro didn't say what numbers were, but the other guy had calculated that it was somewhere between 85% and 115% difficulty that happens randomly when you do these raids. And Cerebro basically verified and said, yes, we add some variety. I'm not going to tell you the details, but you're correct in that there is this, and that's to create a bit of a challenge. And I was like, okay, I'm okay with that. I'm totally okay with that, creating a little bit of variety, because now I'm having fun in the mutant nodes trying to overcome that RNG. Everybody else hates it. I kind of think that's a challenge and it's fun. It keeps it fresh. Again, this is the things that we want and the things that we need. We need some fresh difficulty. We want to have it set at 100% every time. So, but yeah, basically there's a difficulty roll on some of the stats like armor, and I think it was armor, damage, and health. It wasn't focus and maybe it was it was armor, focus, and resistance, I think was what it was. And that's why every once in a while you can't seem to strip the defense up off of Surfer, and he'll just annihilate your whole team. And there are 250 cores to get back in the match.
Yeah.
You know? So yeah, but that was back in 7.5. I don't have any new information on it, but back then that's what they were doing. And the way that like the mutant lanes are playing, and I know the mutants are different because you have who is getting the assist and is the blind sticking, that sort of thing. So there's a lot of other RNG in the mutant nodes. But when it comes to like, I mean, I'll jump into Mystic, and I said I can fully auto Mystic. Sometimes I cannot. Sometimes my team will wipe.
Yeah.
And so I have to pilot it on auto and pick my targets for the most part. And then every once in a while slow down and make sure I get my charges back up. Now to make sure that I get through there. But most of the time you can hit auto and go right through it. And I believe that that's because the difficulty roll is still in effect.
I would say that I dislike. We are running 2.2 in Doom Raid, 60%. And we are pushing 2 times per week, 2.3, 60%. I can say that in 2.2, I don't like my 6 red star, 6 yellow bishop to be one-shotted. That is not fun. Not at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have a 789k X-Men, and I'm getting absolutely destroyed in the first node from time to time. I just don't even stand a chance. I'm just getting straight up. Nothing lands.
Well,
nothing sticks.
What it is it's very unforgiving.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have a perfect play, you get annihilated. But if you can control the other team, which is reliant upon RNG, and that doesn't feel good because you've got to get the right assist and the move to stick. Like Okay, what is it? I think it's it's node 1 that pops up with the Hela on the mutant
Yeah, it
lane.
is. Yeah, it is.
Lane,
Yeah,
right?
it is. Yeah.
Okay, so Greg spawns in one of two places, and so if he spawns next to Bishop,
Yeah.
you use Beast's Basic. If he spawns away from Bishop, you use Beast's Special to kill Greg and get the speed going. And so these are things you learn to overcome the RNG, and I'm okay with it. I think that's a fun challenge and everything, but man, when you make a mistake and Surfer goes off and deletes half your team, you're like, oh my gosh, I forgot to blind him, or I forgot to stun her, or whatever. You know, it is very unforgiving. I'm okay with that. I think it's just higher stakes and whatever, you know? I think that there's other things that they could tweak before that.
What I did to...
It's tough.
What I did to overcome the RNG in the first lane in Mutant, because we have the same lane, you and me. And I actually took up Beast to 6 red stars and put in as a skirmisher level 3 blue ISO. Didn't change the shit, to be honest. It hasn't helped. I still can't strip the defense in some days from Phylavel and Moondragon.
I'm running Jubilee as a striker, and I'm finding I'm having better results than when I ran her as a skirmisher, because as a skirmisher, she has like a higher percentage chance to land the blind, but as a striker, she has 2 chances at a lower percentage. Okay. I don't know what the math is, but my play feels better with her as a striker.
Yeah, but that is what we want. So, I mean, if it feels better, it is better for you. And that is something...
Also, she's got decent damage. So when she gets to double tap as a striker, you can clip some people off, and that's pretty good. Hey, what's up, Jerry? And Bondreas says, one of the many examples that can screw you up is if you don't have the Beast alt ready for Node 2. That's 100% accurate.
Hey, GM, by the way.
If I don't start off with that Beast alt on Node 2, I do not one-shot it. In fact, most of the time, my team will just get wiped out. And that's that unforgivingness of the node.
I actually used to, when I'm not having the Beast ult, I actually pulled through it even in 2.2. But I think it's the size of the team, to be honest. But sometimes I'm getting clipped. Like, of course, I'm getting clipped. And the funny thing is that sometimes the team... I play the same way all the time in Node 2, for example. Yeah. But some days the team that I'm facing, they are going way faster than I am. Which I don't know why. I don't even get a second turn with Bishop to kill Miss Marvel before it's all over. I'm just getting totally wiped. So it feels like they're tricking with the speed bars also, because I can't see the difference, and I'm playing the node every single day. And I've been doing that for...
I've never experienced a speed difference. Whenever there's a speed difference, it's because I was unable to kill a certain character in the time that I'm supposed to kill them. Like, a lot of... Like, I didn't realize it, but at one point... It required a series of people to attack this character, like Emma. The way I do it, I like to kill Emma first.
Okay.
So it required a series of attacks on Emma, and I had to have at least one person crit. And if one person out of that group didn't crit, she wouldn't die, and that wouldn't give me the turn meter to get going. And since then, I added some power to it. And I think that's part of Danny's problem. He says some nodes on 2.2 are harder than the same node on 2.3. Danny, what's happening there is that your team is overpowering the node on so let's say you're doing node 2. You're coming into the second node on 2.2. Your team overpowered the node on the first node, if that makes any sense. You overpowered node 1 and didn't get your cooldown set for node 2. This happens to me in Mystic. I recently put some power into Deathpool. And what'll happen is she will do her little, she'll proc and she'll go kill somebody, which doesn't give you the energy.
Exactly.
And she's so powerful, she's killing more people with that move. I'm not getting enough energy going into the next node, and I'm not ready. And like she won't be ready to ult on Doom. And now I'm like, oh crap, I got to take him out the old-fashioned way with an ability block and luck and a prayer, you know?
Yeah, but I'd rather play 2.3 in Mystic at the moment because I have more damage than I had before, of course, with the upgrades to Cloak and Dagger, with the red stars and everything. But I haven't noticed that much of a difference in 2.2, to be honest, with my Mystic team. It's just the mutants that is really suck, and then the tech lanes is just ridiculous. Danny has come up with a conclusion for himself also with testing out. He's always testing stuff out. He has been a raider since the day I met him for 2 years ago, so we have always raided together. and he has come up with a team. I don't remember what you said, Danny. I can look it up though. Which was really interested. Let's see.
Yeah, Action Comics. I think the game being created by developers that don't work on the game anymore. You're definitely right. They're like in that newest video that came out, not the Strike Time video, but the Apocalypse video that just came out. I didn't recognize almost any of the faces in there in that video, whereas we used to see at least one developer from a previous video, and I didn't recognize anybody there other than that one, the overall director, the art, well, not art director, but the I think creative director, whatever his name is, that new guy. Boy, he's a slick talker. I'm not sure I trust him any. I think there is a hidden mechanic that adds 100% defense on hits over certain percentage amount of damage. I don't know. I never heard anything about that.
But the team that Atreides came out with was Churi, Chacha, Doom, Kestrel, and Nebula on the first node. And then he brought out, because Doom ults, and Chacha gets 6 turns from killing people with Doom specials. And he's just going totally ham. He's doing some videos on it, so I'll make sure to post that also. But there is ways to go around it. But it's also like we are endgame players, and we need to be finding ways to work around it, since the new tech team that we are all waiting for is nowhere to be seen at the moment.
Yeah.
But overall experience,
I don't know if you saw, but over in my Discord, whoops, let me see, where is it? It is under news, leaks, and rumors. Some strange content creator posted in there about a new rumor about Hulkbuster, Kid Viz, and Deathlock.
Wow.
And yeah,
I could say Hulkbuster.
So you should check that out.
I would also like to see
this content creator, who I will let you guys guess at. I would like to point out that with his prediction, he put a 57% chance of coming true, because he likes to not lead people on too much.
Yeah. Jerry,
Shang-Chi
is still worth
6.1.
Shang-Chi is still worth 6 red stars. Absolutely. He's fucking phenomenal. I wouldn't I have him still at 6 star. That was one of the first 6 stars I even bought in the game, to be honest. He's doing a heavy lifting in skill section in Doom 2.2 for me. He's a plug and play character in every single game mode you put him into, to be honest. He's amazing, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So with the conclusion of the raid, would you say that we can take the Greek raids first? I think that is a perfect example of negative and waste of screen time, to be honest. How about you? What's your feeling about it, as it is at the moment?
The what was that?
The screen time for Greek raids. Is it a positive or a negative? Yeah.
Absolute negative right now. It's a total waste of time. The rewards are not good enough to care. It's just something I have to do because there's an event running right now. Like, I make sure that my alliance gets to 60% in whatever Greek we're doing. We don't even push for 100% because we just don't care. The rewards aren't that good. Total waste of time. Yeah, it's nuts. So they need a sim button for that, and then I wouldn't bitch about it. They need a better difficulty for it, and then I wouldn't bitch about it. They need better rewards for it, and then maybe I wouldn't bitch about it. But for right now, total waste of my time.
The Ultima 7, we haven't walked through it. I'm just gonna talk really quick about it. That I want your thoughts, quick thoughts about that also. That with the new characters that are coming out, they are so fucking strong that people are actually skipping Ultima's raids and going straight into Doom, which makes them also being totally outlocked for blue ability materials and green material abilities. This is a huge problem, and we still have bottlenecks with the green and blue ability materials to level up the characters, or the skills, so to speak. It was one, I think it was a player last night that came in and said he's in severe bottlenecks with that. And that can also be described because we have so much powerful characters that people are skipping U7. That is a huge problem at the moment. What is your take on that?
This is one of the dumbest problems in MSF, in my opinion. I think this is one of the absolute dumbest problems in MSF. you should be pushing new characters to the end game as fast as possible to encourage competition at the high end where people spend the most money.
Yeah.
And instead, you're locking them into the early game with a resource that I don't give one shit about. It's give them a bazillion blue material mats, whatever. I don't care. No. Give it to them. This is the dumbest thing. Sprinkle that shit in every game mode, every payout for every single thing everywhere in the game. Yeah. Nobody at the high end cares. I want those players to come up and play against me. Yeah. Give it to them. Get them going. This is the dumbest bottleneck in the entire game. Absolutely benefits no one.
Yeah. Prominence says there needs to be bigger difference between winning and losing in war, for example. Yeah, we will go over to war in just a second.
Yeah, the problem with that prominence is we've been through that. When you start making a bigger difference between winning and losing, you get shelling, you get all kinds of exploiting and all kinds of stuff. It's kind of like how they dealt with, it's like how they dealt with blitz bots. They made it almost not worth your time to use a blitz bot. Yeah, and by making capping it at 8 rotations a day. So by making the rewards so minuscule between a win and a loss, it just becomes bragging rights. What they should do in war is add skin currency, costume currency to the win and not for the loss. So every time you win, you come a little bit closer to unlocking something you can show off, because all war is about is letting the Krakens flex. That's all it is. And so let them flex with the wins, being like, hey, look, I got the costume credits for this or that or whatever, because it's not going to change you're not going to get ahead as far as your ability to play the game any differently with costume credits. It's just to show off. That's all. A trophy for the person who spent the most money. And I'm fine with that. Give them all trophies. I don't care.
You know that your waifu is typing in the chat. You should read it.
Oh, is she?
Yeah.
Run your oldest knows the phrase. Oh, whoops. Yeah, okay. All right.
But if we're going over to Doom Raid, is that a positive or negative screen time? For me, it's really positive. I love raiding, and I think it's hard, and I think it's really fun. Now that we have started pushing 2.3, 2 times per week, 60%, I enjoy it. Even if I need to spend cores and heals, I really enjoy it. What's your take on it?
Honestly, I have an opinion that probably isn't very popular when it comes to Doom raids.
Shoot.
I love them just the way they are.
Cool.
I love them just the way they are. Some of them I'm really close to hitting the auto button, like in the Mystic lanes. Some of them are a light challenge, but not that bad, like in skill. Then you've got Bio, which is full auto for me with the Web Warriors. And then you've got Tech, which is an extreme challenge.
It is.
And Mutant, which is like this. I've got 5 different levels of challenge for that. And I think it's great. I'm almost a little bit nervous about a Tech team coming out, because it's going to be cookie cutter, hit auto, and I have to spend on it. I will. And then that'll be the lane that is full auto for me as I build my characters up. And then hopefully we get Doom 3 and everything's going to be challenging again. But for me right now, I love Doom 2 just the way it is.
Cool. So you are enjoying the Doom raid?
I am, very much.
Confirmed at Ixxen stream, and Run 7 is now a raider.
And I know that a lot of people.
I saw your smile.
And they're like, oh, Mutant's terrible. I can't stand it. And I'm like, whatever. It's you. You can't have everything. You can't just have everything given to you. Wanting mutants to be easy, that's a want, not a need. Yeah. So I think it's just great the way it is.
I don't want raids to be easy. I want it to be challenging and doable when I've upgraded my roster.
It's just right now I'm right where I need to be, where I have varying levels of challenges throughout the entire thing, and I'm just having a good time. And pretty soon my roster will be so tough it gets boring. For right now, I think that it's just right, and eventually I'll be looking to those higher difficulties. I'm building for Doom 2.3, and I'll get there. And I don't know, it's just good. It's good for me.
Let's go to the most controversial game mode in the Marvel Strike Force history. I would dare to say it is war. First thoughts: do you like or dislike war? From personal perspective, not like alliance versus alliance, just from your own experience of war. Do you enjoy fighting other alliances? Do you enjoy war as a whole?
It comes and goes. It comes and goes for me. In fact, right now I'm doing a war match because my war just started like
Cool.
5 minutes ago or something, or I guess about 30 minutes ago. For me, I like war because I get to compete against other people and other people's defenses, and I get to try out new things. It's a very fun game mode for me. However, I have encountered some very, very nitpicky frustrations right now. What do I want to do?
Can you name something?
Okay, so I broke my Weapon X team. My Weapon X team doesn't work against Heroes for Hire.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about Misty Knight ability blocking me. I'm talking about when I go into a 700k Heroes for Hire, my Omega Red deletes the entire team with his ult. They come back with most of their charges and whoop the shit out of me, and I am punching down like that's a 100k punch down for me.
Yeah.
And I'm just getting destroyed, man. It's terrible.
Yeah, I know that you are hating on that when on your stream. You're talking about it every week. That is a frustration point. It's a boiling point.
I have to go through and build up the rest of my Weapon X team to match Omega Red. Like, I got to get the entire. It's got to be a 1.2 million team, so that they're even power, and then I'll be able to slow play a Heroes for Hire punch down where I just don't use Omega Red's ult. Or maybe use it or whatever, I guess, but just expect it not to work the way it's supposed to work because I'm too powerful. And I'm in a position where I don't find 1 million Hero for Hire teams because I could punch up into a 1 million Hero for Hire team with my current 800k Weapon X team. I could do that. It works really well. I don't find those in my wars because I am in a casual, fun alliance where we don't care about war. Like most people, we don't care about war. We all play it, and we do enjoy the close finishes. We enjoy making fun of other people's defenses or making fun of our teammates when they screw up an easy match. That's all fun.
Yep.
But we can't take it serious. We can't be competitive because we want to play with our friends. And so we have a TCP range of like 7 million to 18 million.
Okay. Cool. Bondrias says also a good thing. And welcome to the show, by the way, Bendable Straws. Nice to see you guys. My guy. Bondrias says also, how cool would it be if we could replay our defense matches, see how your defense teams are working? I would love that. That is a feature that I really miss from War. I want to see that.
That would be a great one.
Yeah, because
that would be a great one.
It doesn't feel so wasteful.
Be able to implement that. I mean, how much space is this game already taking up on our phones that half the community can't play it without going and buying a newer phone?
Yeah, it's too
How many
gig.
times does the game crash with the release of 4 new characters when 2 of them don't even work? Like, I can't believe that they're going to implement a replay of people attacking into you. I just can't believe they're going to implement that without it screwing everything up.
Yeah, it's the same as Jerry is saying. Why can't we spectate battles, watching our teammates attack stuff?
Right.
It takes too much memory.
Same thing.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
There's no way they can pull it off. Their programming skills are terrible.
And Bendable Straw also raises the point that or even a live spectate of them attacking us, but it takes too much data. That is the problem. They can't. They just can't. And my personal experience from the war is actually I enjoy that a lot. That is my second most fun game mode in the game at the moment. I like Tower also, and looking forward to Scourge and Crucible and so on. But for me, it has been way more fun to play wars now that I'm a bit bigger. When I've built up my attacking teams and I'm working on offensive teams, because I'm already done with all my raid teams. I can't do anything with my raid teams. I can't really do a magic trick and get more red stars, right? It's impossible. I don't have the gold credits to upgrade and so on, so I'm done with it. And when that is done, I want to have another thing to do that I enjoy, and I enjoy beating up other alliances. And the defenses make me think, like if it's a different room with, for example, with the bridge, when you have, what is it, like 10 different buffs on the opposite side, and it makes me think, and I enjoy that kind of puzzle, so to speak. So I I'm mostly positive about war. If we win or if we lose, I hate losing. Like that is the worst thing I know. I really hate losing, but I won't flame my team for losing because the matchmaking is what it is. But if we are losing a match that we should lose or win, then I'm getting a bit frustrated. But I won't shout it out because if I enjoy war, I can't force 23 other players to love wars and go super ham. We are not that kind of alliance. We are taking it casually since the rewards are the same. So it doesn't really matter if you win or lose, if you know what I mean. But it's always good to have a win under your belt, and that is why we play the game. It's the same if we raid or play arena. We like to win. We are driven by winning. That is why we're doing this.
Everybody likes to win.
Yeah. So at the moment, I don't really want to change anything with wars beside the rewards. They can double it for winning and losing. That's kind of it, to be honest.
I think war is in a position where it's like, I want every aspect of war to be better, but I have no idea of how they could make it better.
Exactly.
Maybe they could maybe improve matchmaking with just whatever that they do to make. I mean, we've seen other games with better matchmaking. You know?
Of course.
So that could be a thing, but otherwise, like the rewards, if you tamper with the rewards, you get lopsided battles and shelling and all kinds of that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So that's a tough one. If you try to reduce playtime, like screen time, I mean, I guess I would like maybe more of an efficiency-based thing. Oh my god, I am losing with my Dark Hunters into...
Again,
this is a punch down into Heroes for Hire, and it's falling apart on me right now. I'm backing out of this fight.
What is it, like 80% chance that you're winning and 20% that you're losing?
Misty Knight ability blocked my Morbius on the opening move. Not to mention they had Luke Cage off of the corner, so it was bad from the start. Whatever. And of course, Mordo can't stick anything. Whatever. I think like we need to. War needs to be switched to an efficiency-based gameplay, so we don't have these. I don't want to have to wake up at 3 a.m. to race for a full clear. That doesn't sound like fun to me.
No.
The race to full clear sounds like garbage. I would rather efficiency-based wars so that we could play it at whatever time we want.
Yeah.
That way we can play with people in different time zones because so what if they're late to war, you know?
And that is why we don't care that much about war, because we know that we have. For me, example, I'm in Sweden, and a lot of our guys is in different time zones in USA and Canada and so on. So we can't really do that much about it, to be honest. And we're refusing to go super hard in war and make people want to, as you say, go up at 3 a.m. and get a fucking war attack. It's a game. Come on, we are here to have fun. We are not here to like punish people for not waking up in the middle of the night when they have kids and work and school and shit. Just ridiculous.
There's some alliances, they treat it like they are a professional football team or something, where you're gonna show up to things on the right time. They have practice sessions, they have lots of rules and regulation and stuff.
Really?
And if that's the kind of alliance you want to be in, by all means, all top 10 alliances have very strict rules and regulations that you have to have certain teams built to certain levels at a certain amount of time. Like if you don't have your Shadowlands to 750 by this next Tuesday, we replace you. Like they're very strict about stuff like that. And that's fine. That's if you want to be in that type of alliance, it could work out for you. Yeah. Prominence, I was using Morbius and he was totally worthless for me, but the team was doomed to begin. So is there anything else you want to go over? Because I'm actually, we're going on 2 hours, 2.5 hours now.
Over time, my dude.
Yeah, I gotta get to some other stuff though.
Yeah.
I'm just enjoying talking to you about the game. I can go on forever like this, but I do have some other stuff I gotta get to.
I know. We had an hour set up to have a party, you and me, and we had 2.5 hours
I got lost
instead.
in it.
Yeah, but it is the way when we are talking about the game. But no, I really don't. We can go on for hours and hours, as you said, because this is a game that we can talk about all the time, because there is so much to talk about, and it is really fun. So, but no, not really. Make sure that you are giving Run 7 a follow. I don't have the bots to do the shoutouts, but most of the people that are here or have been here already knew you, so we are sharing the viewers today. But most of all, I want to thank you for coming on as the monthly guest, and this is a feature that I want to do every month, because I think it's really important to talk with players and also with streamers, because they're actually more dedicated. I know it sounds bad, but we do a lot of stuff off screen, so to speak, and we are trying to get sink our teeth into everything to get a good explanation for our player base, and to do whatever we can to help our fellow members in the alliances and also in the stream. So this is a segment that is coming every month. So I really want to thank you a lot for today and taking your time. Spending that with me was awesome, and it was fun to actually meet you in person, or so to speak, or the best we could do over internet. But it was a great time, and I hope you enjoy the staying you had in my little house.
Anytime. I love talking about Marvel Strike Force, and especially it's even better when I get to come on somebody else's stream and let them do the editing and them all the question and the prep work and everything. I can just come in and just talk about a video game for an hour or 2.5 hours, as it was today.
Yeah, it went fast. So I will let you go now, and I'll catch your VOD next time you do it, since it's perfect with me when I'm working. So thank you so much, Ron, for coming on. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Have a great day. Thank you. Bye. All right. So that was Mr. Run 7. He was super friendly to me when I reached out to him. He was like, yeah, I would love to come to your stream and have a talk. And I was super happy, because he really understands the community, and he's one of the first choices I go to when it comes to Marvel. He's always positive in his stream, and he tries to actually play the game, and I enjoy that. JM says 50